Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Slip Encounter Podcast. We at the Kenichi Studios. I'm your host, BINK. It's your host, GOLDENBOY, the birthday boy, birthday week. Man, how you feeling, brother?
Feel good, man. You know, for me, with the birthdays, it's a big thing for me because you've really been a part of my whole life now. I feel like going over a year and a half.
Right.
All y'all have now. So see how hard it is to get to some of these birthdays or some of the stuff you're just saying, you know. But it was I think about it because, you know, I grew up, everybody from 2 red, 3 green, 4 yellow at Children's Hospital. Some of them didn't even get to 12, 13, you know, so.
You beyond blessed to see another year, man.
Yeah, you know, I'm disciplined. I try to stay with my health. You know, see what I'm drinking right now.
Yo, hey, he in here drinking beet juice. Beet juice.
God. But, you know, it was an up and down year for me, man. You know, I want to give thanks to you and everybody here because it wasn't even just like, okay, it was a good year, but just one little thing and what. No, it was up and down at first. You know, yeah, people in my corner that played a good role, that they made themselves look like a good role, you know, but maybe disregard one of the main things me and you were taught in sports, that difference between a person who don't have confidence in themselves and a person who is a coward in a sense. Confidence, you just gotta push them, let them know but when they're a coward, no matter what, they're gonna run at the end of the day.
Indeed.
Then and shortly after that, then grandmother passed and handling that. Then everything else after that with other situations I was in. Then after that, getting sick. And then I remember you was on the phone with me. It was you, Ace, Magic.
Yep.
We were all on the phone and y'all was like, nah, don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine, whatever. And then what was it? 2 weeks later, we get a call to come here?
Yep.
And I remember we was leaving out of here. We was just stuck like this. And you said, you grabbed me. You said, bruh, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. You was grabbing me. And I was like,
100%.
Oh my God. I was so stuck on stupid, man. I swear. You know, but, you know, I appreciate you, man. You helped me get through this year. You know, I still remember when I got out the hospital the first time, man. Dad was like, man, if you ain't walking right, whatever, you ain't feeling good, man, you ain't going to that studio on Wednesday. You know, if you don't get your rest, you don't look good, you ain't going. Wednesday, I get up, come in that Wednesday night, you dab me up in the parking lot, but you had this look like, why are you here?
No bull, man. I know how hard it is, man.
Hey, he was bad. Y'all understand, big was bad, dog, because my legs was limping and everything. He was like, what the fuck you doing here? Like, man, we got to do the show. Man, the show was going to be fine. And just look on his face.
No bull.
But yeah, man, I'm grateful for y'all, man. You know, with y'all as my team, you as my brother, man, and Kenichi and Miss K, Uncle Wolf, I greatly appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. Shout out to Lil Bit too. You know who she is, man. One of my close friends, man, I work with, man. Shout out to Lil Bit, man.
Right.
You know, and I appreciate y'all.
Indeed, man. Indeed, man. That's deep. That's real deep. But, you know, credit to you, man, for persevering and getting over everything. Tough year. And you still here, so it's a testament to your character and, you know, what you made of.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? Cut from a different cloth. Man, for sure.
I appreciate it.
We back in the studio, guys. It's the last episode of the year. Man, I don't even really know what to say, man. It's a blessing. Like, you know, I'm thankful too. I'm thankful for the opportunity. I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful to have met, you know, our team, our producers, you know, they family, you know, you family. You know, just a blessing to even be doing this boxing thing, to be sitting in front of this mic talking.
Yes.
Talking boxing. You know, I know I'm an introvert. You know, at heart, I'm an introvert. I don't like talking. You may see me in public, and this isn't me. I'm quiet. I don't really have much to say, but this brings something out of me, man. It's just a blessing to be with you guys.
But he did a lot of that for me because this is the part y'all don't know. I didn't want to do this. He had to convince me to do this, and I don't mean like just here. I mean, before I would do my little videos in my house or do my videos in the store, whatever, and I would sit there. Everybody loved it. It was raw, whatever, and everything. That's why I said I can't do it. Bing knows how to carry the show. Me, I just go start spitting the facts and keep it moving. And the thing was, I dealt with a lot. It's a lot of prima donnas in the fight game, whether it be media people, fighters. There's a lot of that sometimes you're going to come across. Boxing is a hair salon a lot of times. So it was times where I would get invited to other people's shows. Like this one guy, he know who he is, so he probably watching this. He invited me on his show. People invite me on their show, And it could be the Tyson Fury thing. It could have been, Gervonta. It'd be a lot of different things at the time. And I'll get invited on their show, and then they get upset that other people are enjoying me being on the show, and I wouldn't ask to come on. I was just coming on there for the love of it, whatever. And then the next time they log on, it's, oh, where's the six people who didn't know who I was? Say, yo, who's the 16-year-old kid with the glasses at? Bring them back or whatever. What, man, I thought you was bringing them on the show, and they would get off. So that made them upset. And one of the guys, or then another one that made me upset was when I did it. My mother always told me just to ask the questions. I never would ask, hey, like, Bing, when you first interviewed, did I ever ask you, yo, what's the questions you about to ask me? Just what I asked her. Only one time I did that. And I asked that same reporter, I said, look, everything was going on with Jared and my uncle. I said, that's a good friend of mine, and that's my uncle. Don't ask me about that. And if it's about what happened with him and J-Rock in the 36 minutes, I'm cool with that. That's just boxing, that's skill set, no matter. And he goes and asks me, not once, and I let it slide. Then he asked me twice, and then tried to make a joke of it. And the crazy part is I saved this dude hind parts more than twice because a fighter wanted to wring his neck, yo. Like, wanted to wring his neck badly. So all those different instances, like, it was like, okay, I just want to talk boxing. And dude started to like, okay, get 3,000 views or get 1,000 views with us on the live watching, get on their show. And I'm like, yay, man, I appreciate looking at them. 3 things, man. I appreciate you want to be on your show this week. Cool. Next thing you know, they get mad at me and they don't want me to be on their show. They're not going to say that to me, but they don't want to be on the show. And then people ask you, where that kid at? And Bing had to convince me after that. Like, nah, bro, trust me. This is you. You need to do that. Nah, man, I don't know, man.
And what's really important about that is, with me, I ain't no envy. I don't envy you for your gift or your talent. Like, I be calling him a historian, but I'm not joking. He really is a historian. That's his gift. That's something that he's great at doing, is spitting the facts, pulling out the facts, going to fights from the 70s and knowing the fighters and what rounds that's happening and stuff. That's a gift, to be able to go that back and spit shit back verbatim, like word for word, like press conferences from the 80s and spit that shit back verbatim and know what the hell, that's a gift. So to be envious of somebody that has a gift like that is crazy to me. That's why it works so well. Never, no envy, no nothing. This guy's very talented. When he does, he's great at what he does. So he's just a plus one. We feed off each other, we encourage each other, and that's why the show gonna be successful. So why the show is successful right now. So that's crazy, bro.
And I was telling him, I was like, man, I can't do it, Big Dude. I was like, what you talking about? I said, man, that magnetic is can beat. He comes, as soon as he start to carry it. Me, I'm gonna ask questions like, so, and I still struggle with this, like asking questions without, and he knows how to make it short and sweet. Ask the question. Me, I'm gonna ask. So if you turn your pivot foot this way and you're taking it, it's gonna be broken down. I'm gonna say this whole sentence. He knows how to carry the show, chop this up, put this sentence this way. I'll be sitting over here watching, like, God, my bad.
I appreciate it, man.
I can't
appreciate it, man.
Good God,
I appreciate it, but it's crazy. Like, still to this day, I be sitting here and like, yo, I be in front of the mic talking. Because if you knew me 2 years ago, I was not a talkative person. I'm really not. I could never imagine myself right here 2 years ago on a podcast talking in front of a mic, in front of people, and like just being myself. It's crazy to me, but it's God put you where you're supposed to be. This is where we supposed to be, man, and it's a blessing. And I want to touch on what you said about the media and them asking you questions after you already told them don't ask me these questions.
Yeah, that was the only thing I asked. That was the only thing.
All news ain't good news. Any headline, just because a headline don't mean it's facts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know we got the show topic about Gervonta Davis, and it kind of ties in with this. Folks were so quick to share that mugshot of Gervonta Davis and crucify that man with no facts.
They still is crucifying in the comments.
Right. No facts. And I don't even want to spend a lot of time talking about this because still there's not a whole lot of facts. But all news ain't good news. Being the first to post and release something for likes and comments and views and subscribers is not always worth it. You gotta think, these are people's lives you messing with. This is livelihood. This is how he make his money. So to push false narratives without having facts, I don't like it. I don't agree with it. And I'm gonna speak for all of us. I think we would, on this show, we'll never do that. We'll never. It's not that important to sacrifice our integrity, with the sport of boxing, to push false facts, false news. So whatever Gervonta got going on outside of the ring, that ain't got nothing to do with us. We here to talk about boxing. You feel me?
What goes on in that ring?
We here to talk about boxing.
36 minutes.
Yeah. So I don't even want to touch on none of that drama, nothing that's going on. You know, whether innocent or guilty is none of our business, to be honest. We're gonna talk about Gervonta Davis. Let's talk about the fight he got coming up on the 7th. Let's talk about that.
I mean, it's I never forget. I've heard Uncle Nesto tell me this. I heard so many people tell me this. Like, man, they build you up to tear you down. You could be the next best thing since the nice microwave.
Mm-hmm.
You could be the next best thing since Betamax. Sooner or later, that Betamax, they want to go in, they don't like it, and they want the VCR.
Mm-hmm.
VCR, they talk all the good stuff about it, and they get tired of rewinding, they want a DVD player.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, so it's that stuff happens a lot within this. I mean, the worst part is that my biggest thought of it was not only my relationship with Tank or whatever, but also my biggest thing was, damn, everybody else on that card, I hope this don't mess this up.
That's my first thought. Was like Damon, and I'm like, damn, this is a huge opportunity.
Do not please don't
right.
let that mess this card up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's all we were thinking about. Like, please don't let this mess up that money for all of them. Because I wanted to see Mr. Lamont get I want to see him boogie, man. I so badly can't wait to watch that. I'm more excited about that and Damon fight more than Tank fight.
No bull.
I want to see Damon shake out, and I want to see Lamont shake out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know, oh man, you don't want
huge,
this,
man.
and people don't understand when stuff like this happens. It could affect the fighter's camp. Like, it could affect a fighter's camp, because I'm gonna tell you how it happens. When stuff like this happens, you sitting there. I know fighting one time, a situation happened. He had a fight. It was like, it happened similar to this, like right before fight week. And that time he stayed in, he was in for like 3 days or whatever. I forget what he told me, but it took his stamina away. Like those. Basically, it took at least 3 rounds worth of stamina away, because he's sitting there. He's not doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and with that, he literally got all the way to round 7 or 8. No, he got to round 8 and got stopped. I think it was a 10 round. And if you imagine, if he had those extra 3 days and was doing his road work, he probably would have been there. Even if he was tight, he still would have been able to coast a little better.
Right.
Through those, like that stuff happens.
Right. Imagine you locked in. You locked in camp. You doing everything right, discipline, and some shit like this happens, and just derails your whole mental focus.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
That's you know, it's crazy, man. This stuff is so unnecessary, and I feel for Tank, man. I really do. I hope this doesn't affect his game. I hope he's able to go in there and perform at a high level still. But I mean, I know what it's like to lose your mental focus when you got a lot of stuff going on outside of your occupation. I mean, it's hard, man. So.
And this one is worse because you got punches coming at your head. You know, you got things that happen in that ring because you dealing with so much stuff, and you trying to. For some guys, they able to block it out because that's their safe haven. But I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna be real honest. People was like, "Oh, he just mad and he posted that tweet." No, Tank is dead serious. You could wind. Remember when we were kids and Jordan was in the playoffs against the Knicks, and he went to the casino, and how big that they made that to be.
Right.
I'm telling you, Magic Johnson has said on the thing, he said, y'all gonna run him out of this league. Cause he's gonna get tired of dealing with it. And what happened? He retired. And people thought he was joking. Even though people had hopes that he was gonna come back, and he did, but that was part of the reason why he left. He just wanted a break. And you don't think, I'm gonna tell you, Tank is one of them dudes that, you know how they say, man, when we hear rappers say, I wanted money, but it came with some fame. That's Tank. He wanted the money. He ain't gonna be world titles, whatever. He ain't want all that, all the fame, whatever. I want to ask him. Hopefully next time I see him, I get the chance to ask him. So, if you had the chance to not sign with Floyd, because you know with Floyd that boosted his profile even higher, to put him on my mixtapes and Shade Room and all that other stuff.
Right.
What if he was still undefeated, still what he is now, but not on the money team, and that instead of it being this high of notoriety, about right here notoriety, and he just sticks to ESPN ringside page and boxing pages, would you have rather dealt with that more than I want to see what I want to see what he says about it. That would be very interesting. And I would ask him it off the record just to see what he says to me about it. Yeah.
I mean, I can only imagine what that star power brings. It put you into a different circle of people. You're around a different circle of people. You got a different. We were just talking about it before the show. You got different women now that are after you and want you for your money, for your status to get in.
Nothing about you.
Don't give a damn about you, but because of your status and what the people that you can introduce them and get them around, they want to be around you. So I mean, it's a trap. It's a trap, man. You know, the industry, man, it's evil, man. And it's like, I want to be successful so bad. I want this podcast to blow up. I want us to 100,000 subscribers, 1 million views on each video.
Not too bad in a few months, over 1,000.
Not
too bad. Just
but what comes, like, what's the price of having that kind of notoriety and being at that level where you're in that spotlight with that kind of star power?
Discipline.
You got to be disciplined. I know we gonna be all right, but at the same time, it's like, bro, like, do I really want to deal with that? The people around me that don't give a fuck about me. Hey, Bink. Hey, what's up, Bink? But you wasn't with Bink when Bink was shooting episodes in his kitchen with a bandana on. You wasn't hollering Bink then. So don't holler Bink now. And then, of course, the women's gonna be there, but that's nothing. That's not worried about that. But it's just, it comes with the territory, man. And it's hard. Like, we was just talking about it before the show, like navigating that, like coming from an inner city tank, you know, not being around beautiful women all the time. He ain't Madison Square Garden. He ain't in New York. He not LA. He from Baltimore City. And then you get to that level of star power, and then there's beautiful women around you all the time. There's money around you. There's alcohol around you. There's rappers around you. It's like, damn, it's easy to fall up and make a mistake. And you know
what? I'm gonna keep it all the way tall.
Go ahead, bro. Talk your shit. Talk your shit
real quick.
Damari Filson, what's up? What's up? Thank you for tuning in. Alfonso, what's up, man? Thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Go ahead, talk your shit, bro.
Let me take a sip of the beet juice for this one.
Talk your shit, because it's hard. I mean, I that's why I feel for him. I feel for him because we know Tank, that's not his mentality at all. That's not his demeanor. He's not that guy.
So I never forget. I'm like 18, 19, just starting, still Don son in the shadow, whatever, a little bit. And I never forget my father say, man, women, they be coming, man. They be on you. I'm like, what? These or whatever. Cause you see stuff. You watch the Mike Tyson movie, you watch this, you watch all that stuff, but it's like, yeah, right. And then you start to see it happening in front of you with your teammates, with yourself, with some of the stuff I told you I dealt with. It's like, what the and you see certain things happen and you watch it. And that's when you really gotta test your discipline. Because I know fighters, I never get one of the hometown fighters said this. I go in Gene's office, right? And he go, man, I know this kid since he was this big, man. Look at him, whatever. He coming along. And G was talking good about me. Bo was talking good about me. He said, G said, yeah, you don't smoke, you don't drink, you don't do this. He said, wait, he ain't got my vice, dude. And he said, no, he stays in the house. He just goes in. All right, cool. He was talking about women. His vice was women. 100%. He didn't smoke or drink. He was just women. And for the little tiny bit that I accomplished, just a little bit, though, it's so weird. Even the people that I grew up around, like through school, I was like, it felt like the Tupac thing, and I swear I related to it 100%. He said, "It don't be me. I was in this same party a year ago, lonely than a motherfucker, lonely than a motherfucker. I was too skinny, too ugly, too something." Yep. And now all of a sudden, Don is so adorable. He's never changed. He's never changed. And then when you take that to the fight game, they love to sit there and say, be proud that, yeah, he knocked people out for a living. And don't really give to not care about you. And then you put a baby in that situation, it complicates it even more.
Bro. That's why I commend you, bro, because you ain't never really fell victim to the never trust a big butt and smile. You ain't never fell victim to that. But a lot of dudes, man, me included, and fell victim to the pretty face. You know what I'm saying? To whatever. And, wasted a lot of time with a lot of women that didn't deserve me. That's why I commend you, man. I got a lot of respect for you, because for you to have that level of discipline, to be at the age you are and still disciplined and not have really slipped up, made no crazy mistakes, bro. Got a lot of respect for you, bro.
I appreciate it, man. That's all hard work right there.
I'm telling you.
That's all hard work. Don Senior in my ear. And I never get my uncle, I got arrested, so he used to say, What up, silk shirt? What up, nephew? Where the honeys at? And I said, I don't know. I would always tell him that. And he'd be like, go ahead, you lying. I said, man, I gotta finish school. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta spar next week. I have to get on my game, whatever. Women gonna be there. I just gotta get to where I wanna go. Women gonna be there. Even the females I work with at work, they be asking the same thing. Like, why don't you have a girlfriend? Why don't you have this? Man, I'm trying to do this with my business partner right now, man. I gotta do this. I gotta get this. Now I got people rooting like he rooting for me. I'm rooting for him. I literally telling them that because they found the show. Man, I think I came in and told them, like, yeah, they found the show and saw us, whatever. Yeah. They think you're very handsome. And they was like, and I said, they thought one of them thought we were cousins at first because of how we were on the show acting. Yeah. They thought we was related.
Like one of my cousins too, for real.
No boy. So he was like, how you know? I said, how you not have your? I said, man, I got a team behind me now. Like Kenichi bed team behind me now. BINK team behind me now. I gotta focus on this. If we're not gonna be walking side by side in this and pushing each other to be better and bounce on, you ain't gotta walk behind me. I want you beside me. We pushing each other because it's hard to be with a fighter. It's hard to be with an athlete. I want that. So if it's not that, I can't deal with it.
100%.
I can't do it. The women gonna be there. They ain't 100%. Going nowhere.
I hope the young boys, if any young boys in here watching, y'all listening, man. Y'all listening. I mean, he ain't made no crazy mistakes. I've made a few mistakes with women in my past. I made a few mistakes because it was new to me, man. Like I kind of grew up and blossomed, and it was new to me to have all this attention. So I was like, damn. That's why I feel for Tank. Like I had this attention. It's like, oh shit, this is what this is like. Cause I ain't had this before. It wasn't like this in high school. It wasn't like this, growing up. So it was different. So I, took advantage and made a lot of mistakes. But if y'all listening, bro, like you said, they always gonna be there. They always be there. Go get your bag. Go to school. Focus on your sport. Whatever you doing, focus. Lock in and focus. Focus, because they gonna be there. Don't let nothing deter you. Don't let nothing deter you, man. What do you say? Don't trust the big button to smile. That's facts.
Hey, don't trust the big button to smile.
Yeah, that girl is poison.
What the judge say on kid play? Keep your mind on the books and off them gas.
I'm telling you, man. It may sound like two old heads up here talking the same shit you probably already heard from your dad and your uncles, but if everybody's saying it, it must be true. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, not just that, but you see that with dudes that's not famous. And you see that with guys that, can you imagine Tank done sat there and the accomplishments Tank has made dwarfs a lot of these guys. So you can imagine what he's doing.
Come from where he came from, do what he did. Yeah, you right.
You can imagine.
Right.
And and then the worst part is on the women's side to defend some of the women, the ones who really do care.
They probably do really like the motherfucker.
They really do care. They ones that get crapped on sometimes.
Yeah. That's
the worst part.
Right.
So that's just how it be, man. That's how it be. But at the same time, man, with this fight game, man, it's unforgiving because this can hinder him so much down the line to where the next thing and everything else he has to deal with, they're gonna try to bring this mess up. It's gonna take forever for him to try to wash it off a little bit. And that's the unfortunate part. That's the very unfortunate part.
We don't even need that, man. Let's talk about some boxing though.
Let's do it.
My boy Trey, shout out to Trey Star, man. He sent me a little link on Facebook talking about Earl having to vacate his WBC and IBF title if he doesn't fight Crawford next.
Wow.
And
so what does that mean for the negotiation?
Right. And Boots is mandated as his mandatory for those titles. So
that's right. I forgot about that. Oh.
Right. So shit really about to get shaky with the whole Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford situation, even more than what it already is. I really don't even want to talk about it no more. But how you feel about that, bro?
I mean, a lot of people feeling about to get hurt. I know that. I'm gonna just be real and honest with you because you got to think, guys, it's a catch-22 because remember I was telling you I done seen stuff with fighters where they call you or you come to a meeting and they put contracts on the table. It could be 2 contracts, it could be 3, it could be 4 guys, and you got to pick which one. And 3 out of the 4 or 4 out of the 4 are killers. So it's like, okay, I don't fight Bud, but now I got to go ahead and fight Boots. Not saying that he should be worried, because I think that's what we're gonna find out how how good Boots is, because you're gonna have to deal with that experience level. I think I broke that down like 4 episodes ago.
We done done it like 20 times
like
on the show,
4
bro. We done broke that
episodes
joint
ago.
way down.
Yeah, so it's like he had to deal with that experience now. It's like, okay, how you gonna adjust? But it's like, okay, now if I don't do this, then I gotta fight this. Then you go from, okay, which one is the most reward out of it? And then after that, you still gonna, even if you do fight Bud, you still gonna have to fight Boots sooner or later, because he's coming.
Right.
The boy's coming. They done sat there and fast tracked him up to these rankings now.
He knocking on everybody's door.
Yes.
Like, what's up?
Like,
what's up?
You don't see me giving Boots too much props, and in this because of how I grew up. Like, with the whole thing, what I said about Marvin Hagler, he fought 40, almost 50 fights before people said he was a good fighter. And some people, you look back on Ray Leonard's list of guys he fought coming up the ladder, you say, "Hey, he fought some killers," but then people say, "Oh, they protected him." Back then, they were saying they protected Ray.
Right, back then, yeah.
So it's so I don't sit there try to give him too much props, but I know what I'm looking at. Oh, I know what I'm looking at when I look at Boots. You can't, from not just skill set, but the magnetism, the smile, charisma, skill set, can box, can fight, and stays in the gym, stays in shape, has the intangibles, and the biggest thing that he got a cheat code. I'm gonna tell you why. He got the same cheat code I had. He already had family members that did it. His brothers were ranked in the top 10.
Right.
And when they make mistakes, you don't make those mistakes. And then they telling you this, and this, and that, to do this, whatever. And that is, you can't replace that. You
Priceless.
cannot replace. That's priceless. But man, they might want to go into 54 when they got the chance. I'm just being honest with you. They might want to go ahead and go to 54 while they got the chance, because he's coming. And he's going to probably be the star at 47.
Yeah.
That's what it's looking like it's going to be.
Right.
He's going to be the star at 47. So what do you do at this point?
Right. Shit. To be completely honest, bro, if I'm Earl, I might be thinking about just vacating and going up. Cause you know he's not going to negotiate with Bud and get the fight done.
Yeah, because you got to deal with Al.
Because you got to deal with Al. If it's not on his terms, I don't see him getting that negotiating done. I think Earl might be vacating and going up to 54.
Boy, they go to 54, man.
Oh my God, 54 is loaded. Let's just pull it up. Real quick. Ain't nothing but a little Google search.
I mean, you know what a squishy basketball is? I think I'm about to cook, so I need that squishy basketball. Don't give me the look, Miss K. Don't start. Don't start.
Let's go ahead and pull it up. 154.
All right, it's my birthday, okay?
Man.
It's my birthday. Don't give
It's
me
his
that.
birthday week, y'all. It's his birthday,
my birthday
week.
Don't do that to me, all right?
All right, so look, 154, we got Jamel Charlo, Sebastian Fundora, Tim Tszyu, Tony Harrison, Liam Smith, Danny Garcia, Charles Conwell, Lubin.
Charles Conway gets slapped on, dog.
I'm telling you. Jesus Ramos, Brian Castano, still up there. I still like him, man. A lot of guys, man. Xander Zayas is at 154.
No. Well, he could beat Xander off of experience.
Off experience, yeah. I got you on that one. I feel you on that one. But, man, it's a lot of guys up here at 54, man, that's in the top 15. But if Errol jumped to 154 right now with these names.
I already know what you about to ask.
No. I'm saying, like, where do you rank him? Because they ranked Danny Garcia off the rip in the top 5.
That was all money thing. That was all a money thing, man.
Right.
You gonna sit there and put Danny Garcia. Not now, if they would have put him at 14 or put him at 9. I can respect that. But you put this man in the top 5? You mean to tell me it's 5 guys? You mean to tell me he better than 10 guys behind him in the top 15?
Ain't did no
and
work
you
up there.
Talking about guys, I say this shit all the time, man. I don't care who got a problem with it. It is a difference between fighting a true junior welterweight and fighting a true junior middleweight and fighting a blown up welterweight. You will not. I promise you this. I doubt this highly. I highly doubt this. It got to be the size comparison. I can't see Earl. I can't see Bud. Bud will be crazy enough to do it. Earl will be crazy enough to do it. Man, Danny will probably be crazy enough to do it. But I cannot see none of them getting in there with Swift, Jared Hurd. Like a true 154. Tony Harrison. Yeah. Only reason why you will get in there with Tony Harrison is because you feel like you'll be safe enough not to take too much punishment.
Exactly.
Because of how hard he hits. Because he has sneaky pop.
Right.
So it's like, okay, it's not a thudding constant.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. And it's more of a pure boxing session.
Right.
Chess match. All right. The danger level goes down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I do not see these guys going up to 54 fighting no true 54 pounder. Them dudes is huge. And just to explain to y'all how big these dudes are, because everybody knows that I had the honor of being in camps with Jared and moving around with him. When he fought Austin Trout, before Jared got to that level, they was calling Austin Trout a huge 54 pounder.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
I do remember that.
And then Jared got in there and dwarfed him.
Oh yeah.
That is
ridiculous, man.
Freaky.
I think Earl would fare better at 54 with his body
Man, did you
size.
see him standing next to Frank Martin?
Frank Martin, I ain't seen him.
Bro, that picture with Earl standing next to Frank Martin, that shit is scary.
I know Earl walk around like 190.
I don't get the guys that do that. I
don't know how
guys do that, man.
Yeah. So
I don't get guys that do that. I don't understand it. I don't
really
know why.
draining and cutting himself down to make 47.
I don't get that mess, man. Like, that junk is... I don't understand it, man. Like, why would you allow yourself to have to do that all the time?
Can't be healthy.
Can't be. Like, why not just keep the weight? Like, okay, I fight at 47. I don't need to be no bigger than 160.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be no bigger than 163.
Right.
So, like, that's why I respect, fighters that Andre Ward, he never let his weight go too far up.
Mm-hmm.
I think he never let his weight go past 20.
Right.
Because you already know it's a good chance you're going to cut a lot of that off by just water weight.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start losing everything else. But guys that do that, I don't understand it. How you let your weight get that big and you call yourself a professional?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. And that's just come from the old school guys I grew up around. Like, you just didn't do that.
Right.
Like, they looked at you like you were crazy if you came in the gym like that.
100%. 100%.
Hey,
real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to my brother Damon Nicholson. I'm looking at the rankings. He's ranked number 8 in the WBA in the world.
That's an
huge,
accomplishment,
man.
right there.
That's huge, especially for Damon, man. Like, if y'all just knew his story and what happened to him and how hard he fought to get back into the ring after going through what he went through, he a true warrior. He a true soldier. So big ups to Damon, the best at Nicholson. That's huge, man.
Damon had the best show this year.
Yeah, Damon definitely had the best show.
Damon had the best show.
Definitely.
Remember, he lost track of time when he was in here, remember?
He was just so happy to be in here talking
He was
to us.
so happy. He said, man, I like it up in here. Can I come back? I said, man,
Yeah.
I don't care. Come back when you want
Come back
to.
whenever you want, man.
Man, I don't care.
Come back
They in
whenever
there
you want.
playing the PlayStation,
Mhm.
chilling.
Let's talk about the 147 division. I'm looking at it right now. It looks like Boots and Virgil on a crash course for a big show. Not in the near future, but somewhere down the line.
He gonna cook him.
When these titles become available.
He cooking Virgil. I'm sorry, dog. I like Virgil too, but he gonna cook him, bro.
Styles make fights.
Cooking him, bro.
He built for Boots to get off.
Like, imagine if Maurice Hooker didn't have so many wars before he
Mhm.
fought him. Maurice Hooker would have gave me, like, man, you remember what he did? What he did with Jose
He fought
Ramirez.
a good fight against him.
Yes.
He fought a
till
real
he
good
broke
fight
his
against
hand.
him. Yeah.
And I think a lot of that was too many wars. Because imagine if Virgil fought the Jose Ramirez Maurice Hooker.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been something.
That would have been something. Definitely.
Them wars, man, I be telling people, man, them wars take a lot out you. Them wars take a lot out you, man. Them wars ruin you. It ruin you. I remember my dad would say, he said, you get better, but you don't get it back.
Right.
He always say, he still says that. So You get better, but you don't get none of it back. And when it's over, it's over.
Let me ask you about Conor Ben. How you feel about Conor Ben? I know he just got jammed up with the PEDs or whatever he was on and shit like that. But how you feel about Conor Ben and his skill set, and can he really perform and potentially be a world champion at 47?
Under the right circumstances, yeah. Yeah, under the right circumstances.
I'm not gonna lie, I like that matchup with Boots more than Virgil.
He gonna get caught coming in too much. With Virgil, he probably have a better chance of it just being glove to glove, toe to toe on the inside. And who switches, who basically, if he's here if he's fighting Virgil, there's a better chance of boom, boom, and now we here. And then it's who's gonna get this position, who's gonna get the side step. Because you know how Conor is. Conor likes to boom, 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 and then switch side, whatever. And you know, Virgil whole thing is everything is short, tight, up the middle.
Right.
With Boots, he ain't getting that luxury. He's gonna get step, quarter step, come over top with that anchoring overhand right. Bink, catch, bink, look on the side door, bink, slide over to the other side door, bink. That's what he's gonna get.
Right.
And he's gonna pivot, whop, slide off the back shoulder, let it roll off, spin off. You're gonna do all that stuff to him. You're gonna try to make him look stupid. You're gonna try to make him look like an idiot. To the point where he breaks his spirit of every time he coming in, he basically paying a heavy price.
So what you saying, it's probably gonna look like when Shakur fought Valdez.
Worse because of the punching power.
Because of the power, yeah. You think he'll stop Virgil?
I don't know if he stops him because Virgil hasn't been in like a lot of wars besides the amateurs. You know, in the gym, he hasn't been in a lot of wars, so he probably, you know, he ain't been weathered down yet, you know. But there's always a chance in this sport of getting caught with some shit. Like in this sport, in them 8 ounces, and you got guys that are at 47, like Boots that are big 47 pounders. That could be very damaging. That could be one of them fights where whoever your trainer has to make a decision on who you we gonna do this. All right, we gotta make sure we time this and do this the right way for the maximum ability and make sure he's at the top of his game. Right. Because this fight could ruin him. You can ruin your guy. And right now, when it comes to Conor, now he has to really break this down. We talking about a guy who was on a roll, because I actually had comment chats with him on Instagram. Because this is back when he was coming up the ladder and they were talking about him fighting Josh Kelly. Remember Josh Kelly was coming up doing all that flashy shit on dudes? Right. And I said, I like Josh Kelly. I like Josh Kelly, but it's the level of guys he fighting that he could do that stuff to. That man went up one level because they, oh man, I want to see if he could do that against Conor. And I put a comment and Conor liked it, replied to it. We got to talking. And I'm like, man, Conor could be good, man. That man coming along, because after that one war, that 8-round war, I think it was 6 rounds or 8 rounds he had, and his eyes were almost swollen shut. That taught him a lesson, like, oh man, this could end. This could ruin my career, like real quick, taking too many shots, and he got better. But you talking about a guy who basically, why didn't you pay for this beat though? Now he's gonna have to. He can't wash that off. Guys gonna always be questioning. Is that do we not understand that this fight was still trying to go on after he popped 30? Right. Lou Peterson, what's up? Against the ropes with Dose. Hey, my man Scarborough fights February 18th. Shout out. Yes, Scarborough. Yes. Fighting February 18th at the Maryland Live Casino in Hanover. Tony Jetta Promotions is putting on the fight card. It's gonna be loaded, so make sure y'all check that out. Shout out to Scarborough Nation. I'm far away. Man, you mean to tell me that this what bothers me about it, because there's a lot of guys who feel like people across the water do a lot of grimy stuff. There's fighters that I've talked to, they feel like it's a different ball game over there. All the way back to when Costa Tszyu fought Ricky Hatton, some people feel that way. Right. And then on top of that, You mean to tell me this man popped dirty and the fight wasn't called off immediately?
Mm-hmm.
They was still trying to make this thing happen?
Eddie Hearn said, fuck that, we having this fight.
Man, we need that money. Get that money.
No bullshit.
Like, that right there tells a lot.
That.
That is bad. That is bad, yo. So and now you wonder, is that why he throws all those punches? Is that why he's always that aggressive? Now, it's you can't escape it. Now people are always gonna ask them questions, and he's never had a real explanation for it.
You got that tag on him now.
Yeah.
You got that tag. I'm gonna say this about that matchup. Cause I do like Conor Ben versus Gervonta Ennis. I like the matchup.
You just want to see him get hurt.
Who, Conor? It's a great possibility, but there's also a possibility that he catches boots. For real. Who did Boots just fight? Not his last fight.
Thomas DeLorme, when he got caught with an overhand right, but he caught it on his glove, went back to his corner and told his dad, you was right, because right there I boarded up, because in the dressing room he was telling him, you're spinning the wrong way, I want you to go the other way because he's going to throw this. And it happened. But no.
But my thing is, Boots, so confident, incredible skill set. You know better than anybody getting over what being overconfident and overcommitting to something can do to you. And even though he's shown discipline and the ability to overcome, with somebody that can punch like Conor, can you afford to have that lapse of judgment for that split second?
Yes. I'm gonna tell you why.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because I don't see it being like that. I don't see it being that one shot get caught thing. With Conor, it's gonna be a break you down, thousands of punches over rounds and rounds, or hundreds of punches over rounds around. Him trying to slide inside and rip him from the bottom up. That it's not gonna be just, oh man, boom, oh, and I got caught with something. Only way if that does happen, it will have to be Conor slides, slips here on the inside. Give him the false security where he's like, I'm tired. Like my father used to say that. Now, and you know who good at this? Chop's good at this shit.
Right.
He'll rock you to fucking sleep, and then Gary Sweet G start doing it. Him and Sweet G was spar. He would sit there like he tired. Boom, and they come over top and drop that shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
I'm not saying he gonna catch him with a one punch joint like Zepeda hit what's the kid name?
Oh, Baranchek. Baranchek, when he called him with overhand, his leg locked and went all the way to sleep. Good.
I ain't gonna say he gonna catch him with a one-hitter joint like that. One of them joints where they in the trenches and it's boom, 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 boom. In the exchange. I can see that happening against Boots. I can see it happening. Boots ain't perfect. Boots got holes too.
Yes.
100%.
But at the same time, look at the height and arm length difference between Thomas DeLorme and Conor Ben. Shots are coming from here.
That is true.
Thomas DeLorme shots was coming from here. That's a whole different ball game. Because then if you get hit with it, like for instance, I was working with, shout out to Eddie, little bricklayer Eddie, the green kid coming along. You know, my dad was like, hey, just give him a moving target to get him used to throwing his punches, get him used to cutting off the ring. So I'm letting, and then, you know, when I want to, I'll let him get his shots off and I'll just block or whatever. But if I was to let myself get hit with something flush by him, my father gonna say, hey, what the hell? Man, what you doing letting that shorter man hit you like that? Because it's like, man, you ain't got no business letting that shorter man have to start from all the way that far back because of your height. Because you got to think with your arm length and your height, that short man got to take all of that into account as he inches closer and makes his decisions on where he's going to go. What double move he going to make. He's going to fake, go here, slide. So it's like, man, I see that Shaq, I'm gone. Like, so, but that's a little different with Conor. Even though Conor has good short, when he throws his fight, he has good, decent speed and velocity with his shot. Like, velocity, just you know. But, and consistency. But at the same time, it's like, oh, man, I don't know if that shot gonna land. I don't see that shot landing, man. Because by that time he does that, he doing this. While still keeping his front foot planted to see what the commitment's gonna be here. So if the shot, if he's here and you're Conor, by the time you move this much closer and you throw that hand, he's doing this.
Right.
Or he gonna slide, man, what? Boom, boom.
No, that's facts.
You know, so, and you gotta think He's done it with taller guys, guys that were on his height. May not be on the level of Conor been, but the height, he didn't. So it's more easy dealing with a shorter guy. Okay, I'm gonna spin him around like a top. Like, spin him around. Like, you know, so that's the thing. That's the big thing. So I have a hard time believing that shot will get there.
That's true. That's true. We got Against the Ropes with Dopes with a lot of feedback. He said Conor Ben is pregnant. He said he fell before too when he was talking about the drug test. He said Boots destroys, Ben is basic, only explosive. That is. But I don't think we had really seen Conor been pressed like that to show anything else. Chris Algieri would get stopped in one round against Boots, and Chris used to be nice, but way past his prime. Chris Algieri was that
man,
guy.
his feet was something beautiful to watch.
He was smooth. I've never seen Conor fight backwards for more than half a round. That's
what I was just about to say.
That is true. But do you think Boots gonna walk him back?
Yep.
You think Boots will walk him?
Yes. And I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. So that's what I was just about to say. He can fight going forward and he can fight going side to side. But can Conor fight going backwards? People say, well, is it going side to side? But no, it's not. Because if you going side to side, it's side, you know, whatever, pivoting, whatever, or it's boom, and you walk for a second off to the side, walk back off, rotate, and you go back in. Now, if he comes forward and then Boots does this, if this is the overhand right coming, he goes boom, boom, puts his shoulder right under his chin and pushes him. And then I'm saying he pushes him and comes over top. And then he pushes. Not only does he pushes him, but he doesn't be lazy and bends his knees and does it and pushes right into his chest, right into his sternum, and then come over top. Now he does it, and now the dance changes for that moment. That whole dance changes. So now as that dance changes, he threw his shoulder, maybe might get Conor to go for a hot second, and then boom, get hit with the right hand. Even if Conor doesn't rock back, even if he just go boom, just here, but still in good space with him. Now Boots is coming, stepping under there. Now he's gonna start trying to grab his head, swim here, boom here. That's how that can go.
Right.
And now it's like, okay, now, all right, little man, now let's see if you can box going backwards. Even if it's for 20 seconds, 10 seconds. That sequence can still be like, oh, the judge is going to mark that in his head.
Right.
Especially depending on how it goes in that round. He's going to mark that next, you know, that round's for Boots.
That is true. Doe said Boots will walk him down the same thing he said he going to do to Spence. Ooh.
Him walking Spence now?
I don't
know about all that.
I don't think he walking Spence.
I don't know if he walking country strong. Damn.
I don't think he gonna push no damn Earl Spence
I don't
back.
think he gonna push. I mean, I respect the confidence. Goddamn.
Porter didn't even push Spence back.
Bruh, I respect the confidence. Don't get it wrong. I respect the confidence.
That's a hell of a fight, man. That's a hell of a fight.
But him pushing country strong back,
yeah,
Dallas tough back. No, I don't think that's gonna happen, man.
Boots gotta say that though. I mean, that's what he's supposed to say.
Yeah, of course. He's supposed to be comfortable in his skills in himself.
But damn, I'm talking about pushing Errol Spence back.
But
That's what Spence lives right there. That's what he liked to be. So I don't
and
really
he can catch and shoot
right with the best of them.
That little and the one thing that Earl does so beautifully, and I said it before, he does something that I still try to master. He rolls and he doesn't give up that much of a gap. Like, I'll roll and I go this far out. It's kind of like the crossover. Right. And my mom gonna like this. When Allen Iverson was first coming out, Allen Iverson, he bring it out here. He hot with it, whatever. And my mom said he get away with it because he quick. But the crossover is supposed to be here, and it's only supposed to be this much space. It's not supposed to be any space. It's supposed to be boom here and gone, so you can get to your shot quicker, right? Rolling under is supposed to be similar to that, where you're rolling and you're not supposed to go too far out. Because then you're out of the range to punch. Right. So if you're rolling under, you want to, and then you don't want to be too much closer, then you're gonna smother yourself. Right. So, and he does it perfect every single time. And everything. Boom, boom.
He right there, yeah.
Catch, roll. Every time it's perfect. Every single time. And I'm like, I swear, when I watched him fight Ugas, I just sit there and said, cause I was like, man, this dude doesn't miss with that catch and shoot, and that his step over is just the Mikey. I saw it with Mikey Garcia. I mean, the Mikey Garcia fight, and I tell everybody what Mikey Garcia, he said, man, he looks like he right there for the counter. Every time he do it, he's gone. And it's only by that much.
But don't forget he got a beautiful ass, thudding ass jab too.
Yep.
To set all of that, even get in there, like, Errol different, yo. Errol different, man.
Ain't nothing flashy about his jab. Ain't no changing the speed on it. Pop or, it's all pop. Pop. Pop, pop. Pop, pop, pop. That's all it is. It's just simple. Like when you see the kids first start throwing their jab in the gym, it's the same one each time. Yeah. That's all it is. That's all. Only thing he do that change up when he changes up his jab, the only thing he do is that he'll throw like this, and next thing you know, he'll do this, but he does it to move your glove out the way. He'll go, boom. But he's doing it to like slowly nudge your glove a little bit and then stab you. I'm sorry. I do not see Boots pushing back no EJ, because I could see EJ dipping with him and putting his shoulder in and then tucking. And next you know, he ripping, and it's going. And the thing is though, I noticed another thing. Boots will shoot his rip, and it's got a lot of whip with like he like that. Earl's joint is short from right. Bow, bow. So it's like, okay,
who gonna get that first?
Thank you. Mom. Thank you. Who gonna get that shot first? Who gonna catch and shoot first? Who's gonna make the decision to stay there? Who's gonna take the backward step first? Who's gonna be able to get the positioning? Who's gonna be able to push the other one off balance? And I don't see. I'm sorry, man. EJ feet, man, he got some good feet on the inside. I'm sorry, I don't see it.
That's my whole thing with Crawford too. That's my whole thing is Crawford throw looping, whipping punches too.
And that down the middle is right there.
I'm telling you, who gonna get there first? And I got Errol.
Depending on with Bud. Depending on the distance, I got Bud. Depending on the distance. On the inside, I
feel what
got
you're
Earl.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about inside.
Oh, inside? Yeah,
inside. I got Earl getting on the inside.
I got Earl on that.
100%. What we got in the chat? What we got the boxing guy. Appreciate you, man. He said, yes, Boots will. Dose ain't tell no lies. Dose ain't telling no lies. Dose know his shit. I'm not saying, I'm just putting options out there. Like, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen too. Or this could happen. It's all hypothetical. I'm not saying, either way, especially with the kind of Ben situation. That's just, opinion based, hypotheticals, things that could happen in that fight against Boots. But with a Arrow, we talking about him walking Arrow back, pushing Arrow backwards.
Man, I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know about all that.
He said his dad said it in the YSM interview. I'm saying what his dad said. I'm not saying he will. Yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you 100%. It'll be a highly competitive fight. Damari Filson in the chat. Thank you guys for joining the chat, man. The last episode of the year, Slipping Counter Podcast, man. Thank y'all guys for rocking with us. Thank y'all for rocking with us.
And man, can we keep this going? Because it got me thinking. It got me thinking now.
Let's keep going, guys. Doe said, I need to see Boots step up before Spence. I do think when they fight at 154, Boots sleeps him late. Ooh. Why you think he sleeps Spence at 54? Alfonso said, I got Spence. Yeah.
I can understand why he says that.
Yeah, but I want to hear. I just want to hear what he got to say. I want to hear his opinion. Go ahead, Dose.
I could.
I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen because shit. If Porter was, if that was a 54 fight against Porter, that fight could have went a whole different way. If they was at 54, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I definitely feel what he's saying. And then Boots has got that extra pizzazz with him. He got that extra little bit of Salt Bae that sprinkled in him. That extra whatever it is, Boots got a little bit more than Porter to make that fight interesting. You know what I'm saying? And we talking about Boots and Spence. I like the Boots and Crawford matchup. That's like NBA Street where you pull out all the crazy moves and the lives and alley-oops. It's like who gonna pull out that special character move first and do some crazy shit that's gonna change the fight. Because we know what Errol's bringing. We know what Spence is bringing. Like I've been saying, he Tim Duncan. We know what he about to do. But with Crawford, it's like, yo, he's a fighter. He gonna fight you. He gonna find a way to land his shot. It may be unconventional, but he gonna land his shot. And the same thing with Boots.
You're right, but it's only one problem with Bud. I've never really said this on camera, but you know who he reminds me of, mentality-wise.
Who's that?
And it's not a good thing.
Who's that?
The great Mildred Taylor.
He said Spence will be older. That's why he think he'll sleep on 54. Yeah, that's facts. That's fact. Age do play a factor.
He can box, but once he gets hit, he want to fight. Sometimes not always to his best. You know, he might still get away with it, but he's gonna take certain shots to be like, you know, can't even kind of make you go. That's the problem.
So you saying because Crawford, he said he can't box when he starts fighting. When he gets touched and he wants to start fighting instead of sticking to the game plan, the discipline, the skill set.
It's like a mix of both. He'll stick to the game plan, but it's like more aggressive, and sometimes he'll get caught. Like look
now
at when
it's instinctive. He's fighting.
Yeah,
he's not boxing no more. He's fighting. I feel you.
Like remember when he knocked out Benavidez? Have you ever watched that knockout in slow motion?
Hell yeah!
You saw how close Benavidez's uppercut came.
Right, very close, very close.
Bud's just technique and experience and speed. His shot got there quicker.
His instinct, like Bud is so like he vicious to watch him. He vicious because nobody's landing that shot but Crawford. Nobody's landing that punch but Crawford. The way he landed that on Benavidez, that shit was beautiful.
Like, cause as a trainer, you screaming, "No, God!" Thank God.
It got there. It's like the motherfuckers coming down on the fast break about to pull the three. Everybody's like, "No!"
Like, no. Remember Steve Kerr did that to Steph Curry?
Yeah, he hit the joint.
Okay.
But that's the thing, though. I'm glad you said that. Curry can get away with shooting shots that nobody else can.
Nobody can get away with.
Nobody else can shoot like Curry. Nobody's getting away with pulling up like Curry pull up. It's the same thing with Crawford. Crawford's throwing punches and shooting shots that really nobody else is really getting away with, man, at all. Against the ropes with Dose, he said Boots is coming into his prime now, 2 years from now. Oh my God. Yeah. But like you said though, like I want to see Boots, like he gotta step it up. Let's go back to the rankings. Let's go back to the top 15 at 147 and see who, because we know it ain't gonna be Spence. We know it ain't gonna be Crawford. Even though he mandated for Crawford's titles, not Crawford, Spence's titles, the WBC and the IBF.
You think, you know how you said last week, you know, I did the most? Well, just for you, it was my birthday, I wore my Golden Boy tracks.
Yeah, that joint slick too. I like that joint.
I know you was about to cook me for a second.
Yeah, that joint is slick. Yeah.
I know you was going to go ahead and cook me for a second.
No, I ain't going to know,
like,
bro.
Man, you do the fuck.
It's your birthday week. I'm not going to cook you this week, bro. I'm not going to cook you. All right, so look. Let's go top 15 for the WBC. You got Errol Spence the champion. You got Keith Thurman, Virgil Ortiz. You got Jaron Ennis at 3. Yordanis Ugas at 4. Thulani, can't pronounce that last name, at 5. Cody Crowley. And Mbenge. Sounds like he got an African name. And Mbenge.
Man, Cody Crowley, man, I was in camp with him.
Right.
He sparred Jared. Yo, I remember that was the first time I met him. I think I still got that picture when we were all in camp together. I met him, and I had a good relationship with him. I got love for Cody Crowley, man. The crippler.
Got Cody Crowley at
Triple
6.
C.
Kavalauskas at 7. Mean Machine. Abel Ramos at 8. Mario Barrios at 9. Rashidi Ellis at 10.
Speedy.
Soliman Sissoko at 11. Jamal James at 12. Lucas Santamaria at 13. Raul Curio at 14. And Giovanni Santillan at 15. So out of the top 15, who was the step-up opponent for Jaron Ennis? I know everybody called him on Keith Thurman.
Where's Boots at?
He had 3. Right? You got Virgil and Keith Thurman ahead of him.
3-2. Where's he number 2 at? What's that bank?
That's the IBF. WBA.
Ooh, he got the 2 oldest belts, putting him in the top 5.
And he number 1 at the IBF. He's his mandatory.
The youngest belt got him at number 1.
Right, and he number 2 for the WBO.
The WBO, the top ranked belt, got him at number 2. I want to see him against. I'm so serious. I want to see him against Keith Thurman. I want to see him against Keith Thurman, and then right after that,
that's what I was saying. I caught flack for saying that. Oh, Keith Thurman. Oh, Keith Thurman this, Keith Thurman that.
No, but I got my own little thing about Keith Thurman. But guess what? He still looked good his last fight.
That's what I'm saying.
He still looked good.
That's a good fight.
And you know this Keith Thurman ain't he ain't speedballing to go take that fight.
Shit, you gotta be crazy to do that.
If I'm Keith Thurman, I'm gonna go get a belt, a vacant belt, and then go fight Boots if I got to. Cause trust me, he gonna talk his way into getting a belt.
Right.
He's going to talk his way into getting the belt. Keith's not stupid. People say what they want about Keith. Keith not stupid. He know this game. He know how to get it done. In and out of the ring. He know the politics and all that stuff. Say what you want. Like, I've had my own discretions about him, you know. But he know what he doing. And he know his worth.
Indeed. We got Caesar Fantastic. He said, I got boots over everybody. Salute, bros. Salute. Thank you for joining the chat. Dose, he said, out of there. Alfonso, he said, happy birthday, champ. Yeah, Alfonso, that's my guy down Hagerstown. I coach his son in football.
Oh, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Against the ropes with Dose. He said, I drove out to Texas. I looked at my girl once. He got hit and hit the ropes. She never grabbed me so hard. Fight Mean Machine and Ellis. Mean Machine and Ellis. Yeah. I feel like Mean Machine is like that measuring stick for everybody now.
Which is crazy because I remember him in the amateurs, bro. Like, and then I guess people feel like the damage he took against Bud. Like, all right, you trying to put him on the back burner almost. Right. He still got a lot left, in my opinion.
Even Ellis though, like I like that fight with Boots.
Man, people downplaying Speedy, dog. Speedy, bro.
Need to stop playing with Rashidi Ellis, man, because I don't even know, bro. He a sleeper at 147. To be completely honest. And
this fight, can we really speak on this for a second? Ahead, bro. It's fucked up how they did Speedy, bro. They had that boy on the shelf. And they threw him in there with Eddie Gomez. And I feel bad for Eddie Gomez too, because Eddie Gomez should be like one of those. I remember when both of them were coming up the ladder, and I was pissed they had to fight each other. I'm like, why would they do that? And how you go from spectacular knockout like that? And I remember after he knocked out Eddie Gomez, that fight was constantly on Instagram for the next 2 years as a highlight. Right. And he was on the shelf that whole fucking time. Or he fought once or twice and it would be off TV. Like, how dare you? Like, what did you sign him for?
Right.
What would you sign him for? Because the kid got the goods.
He's just not being promoted right. He ain't being pushed right. Which is some bullshit.
But you know who he was signed to? So it's like, it was just so I felt so bad for him. And now I'm happy because it's like, now he's gonna make up for lost time, and he's still young, you know. And it just makes no sense to me. And I'm telling you, what BINK just said, he the sleeper. He gonna be the one that's gonna break up. He gonna mess up a lot of y'all pockets. He could be the one that really mess up a lot of y'all pockets.
Man, talk that shit. We got Leo Spriggs. Thanks for joining the chat. He said, I just seen Tank training last night, so the show must be going on. Man, let's hope so, man. Let's hope so.
Too much money on the line. They gonna fuck that up.
Right. Dose said, hey, I got a question for y'all. Why does Boots not go the WBO route? If he says he wants to fight Crawford so bad, I don't think he wants Crawford. He wants Spence for a reason. I feel like because, honestly, I think Crawford is the fight that I can't really pick between Boots. You know, people say Boots and Spence, Boots and Crawford. I can kind of see what happens against Boots and Spence. You go Boots and Crawford, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's a big question mark on that fight. That's a tough fight. So why doesn't he go the WBO route and go chase Crawford, in your opinion, rather than Spence?
Let me just talk to the comment first before I give my opinion. I get what they saying. They trying to say Earl will be a little more stationary. For one, that's inside the ring. That's the inside the ring part. The outside the ring part, I think they trying to say is, you talking about two different type of guys here. One that balloons. Some people feel you see it all in his face now. He balloons up and wait between fights, and the other one stays in range before away from fights.
Right.
So it's like, I think they trying to say, oh yeah, he wanna get at Spence because the bigger task, skill set wise, moving and everything else, and thinking and setting up will probably be Bud or whatever. That will give him more trouble to push him. Honestly, I get where you coming from. I don't fully agree with it, but I definitely respect the comment. I'm not even gonna fake on that. Like, I really do respect the comment because it do make sense. Like, I get where you coming from. You'll be a fool not to sit there and look at that comment and say, oh, I get where you coming from, whether you disagree with it or not. And I partially agree with it, you know. But at the same time, thinking that way could get you fucked up in this sport. Because you can wind up looking past the guy enough in his skill sets, and he wind up hitting you with something you ain't expect to happen. All of a sudden, he hit you with a shot, and you like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? He bring out something you ain't ready for.
Right.
That could be the thing.
100%. And I do want to say something because Spence has gotten better since the accident.
Man,
He really been more dedicated to being in the gym and staying in that top shape. I think he has. Since the accident, well, I don't know about the last accident, but he didn't look ballooned up.
The only guy you know on his birthday week that his drink matches his outfit. But go ahead.
That's crazy. Yo, this is doing too much.
There it is. I was waiting for it.
Spence been way more calculated and tapped in. I know we people seen the video of him talking with Crawford, and it was pinching each other's bellies and everything like that, and he was ballooned up. But I ain't seen him ballooned up since after the accident. Pull it up. Show me.
Bro.
Show me. I ain't seen him ballooned up, man. His mentality been different. Been very different. Same thing with Tank. Tank been in the gym the last couple years. He used to balloon up too. But Tank looked good. Tank looked real good.
Trying to find a picture when they was in the dressing room this past week after they fought. Even before they fought, when he was in the dressing room with Frank.
Yeah, he said Spence been huge. But like Spence is a big dude.
That is...
that ain't ballooned
No, he
up.
ain't. No. Not like before. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying.
Saying.
Oh, okay. You trying to say like before?
Yeah,
no, I'm not saying like before. But he
was out of pocket before. You can see it in his face and everything. You can see it. He was out of pocket. He probably what? He might be 180.
That's not good.
He might be 175, but that's because of his frame. Look at his frame. Look. It's like Devin Haney and Shakur. They killing themselves to make 130, 135.
Nah, but they scared when Devin got on the scale last.
His last fight. Look, did you look at him? He killing himself to make that weight. I know Devin walk around probably like 165, 170, maybe more.
I want to say 55, 60.
Shakur, people didn't see it. Shakur posted on his story after he beat Jamel. It was like a couple weeks later. He stood on the scale and he said 175. 175. He fighting at 130. Come on, bro. That's what I'm saying with Errol. It's probably you can tell he's really cutting himself to get down to 147. He really pushing to get down there. I don't think he ballooning up irresponsibly. When y'all say ballooning, I don't think it's irresponsible. I think that's just his frame and his weight. You know what I'm saying? Because it's got to be hard.
Back in the day, it was irresponsible how you was ballooning up. But now it's not as bad.
I can only imagine how hard it is to stay around that weight for long periods of time.
It is what it is.
You know what I'm saying? If you fighting at his level, championship fighting, you fighting once, maybe twice a year, and you want to stay around 147 for the whole year.
So you mean tell me you can't stay past? You can't try not to let your weight go past 65.
I can see 65. I feel what you're saying. Yeah. I'm just saying he's not irresponsible with it like he used to be. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, and I do agree with that. I 100% agree with that. I swear I do. But that's just how I grew up in the gym around different levels. Like you just did not allow your weight to go a certain way. Like
Doe said he looked like a super middleweight. He said, bro. He said he be looking like a cruiserweight when he not in camp.
Bruh. I'm like, he's standing beside Frank Martin. Them two are 2 weight classes past each other. Yeah. Just 2. And I'm looking at him like, good God. Like, fuck that. Like, hey, Kenichi, what did we was talking about last week? Man, we be little guys. Man, I'm glad we little. Like, them big dudes can have that shit. Man, bump that. Them big dudes can have that shit. No. I'll never forget. While you looking up that, funny story. It's me, Dusty, Kevin Borders, Ty Barnett. They all fighting at the convention center. So Dusty, me and Dusty in the back. And we're in the dressing room, but like how the dressing room was by the orange room, because they was fighting in the orange room that night. So you can come out the orange room and you could see the ring and everything, but they couldn't see us. Mm-hmm. It was 2 heavyweights. I'll never forget this. Dwayne Mobley and Ryan Shea. And I'm still getting in awe of how big these guys are. And then they wearing 10 ounces. Because I remember being a little kid and asking my dad, I said, Dad, they giving them the wrong gloves. He giving them 10 ounces. Shouldn't he be wearing 12? And all of them turned and looked at me and laughed. They said, nah, man, them big dudes wear 10. I'm like, huh? Huh?
Right.
And so me and Dusty back there, Kevin Borders. He's the next fight up. So he put his mink coat on. He's pacing back and forth. And Dusty's right here bouncing. We watching the fight. We're a good 200 feet away from the ring. Gotta be a good 250 feet. And I'm doing this. Oh, and Dusty bouncing. He go, shit. And all of a sudden, Kevin Borders is pacing back and forth. He the next bout up. He fighting at 40 pounds. He go, shh. And I'm like, man, them big dudes can have that shit. Done bump that.
Bullshit, no
oh,
bullshit.
no. I'll take the 8-ounce gloves. I'll just deal with 8-ounce gloves, bro.
No
Hell no.
Hey, real quick, let's jump divisions. Let's go up to 175 light heavyweight, right?
Oh, shit.
So Artur Beterbiev is the WBC, IBF, and the WBO champion. You got Dmitry Bivol as the WBA champion, right? Beterbiev is supposed to be fighting Anthony Yard, right? How y'all feel about that fight? And how does that fight go? Because I really like this fight, man. I
can't wait for that fight. Especially with my little ties to the camp. You know, my love for Spencer Fearon, Coach Tunde Ajayi, and Anthony Yard shows me love on Instagram too. You know, man, I really want to see this boy do good because I saw what he went through with the Kovalev fight. And having Kovalev dead to rights. And some people feel like if that fight was... People tried to scold him for, there was some rumor that he didn't spar like 2 weeks out before the fight or something like that.
Yeah.
And when they were working, the pot shot started to... Because Anthony Yard is one of those guys that it looked like he just touching you. Like, pop, 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 pop. But it's thudding, break you down shots. But it looks so smooth and effortless. And that he's really putting a lot of shots together. And then Coach Tunde said, who calls me Lil Knowledge, he says, come on, Anthony. Now it's time to go. Like, basically put MASH on the gas. And he had, at one point, Kovalev, I think it was, I want to say the 10th, where he had Kovalev sliding down the ropes almost. And people feel like if it was anywhere else, they would have waved it off because basically he's out on his feet.
Right.
And Kovalev was tired. But then after that, you just basically told Anthony to do a 2-round burnout. And now he has nothing left. Right. And now Kovalev's using his experience to try to, even though he's tired, to pick it up. And really, Anthony wasn't knocked out. Anthony really was just fucking exhausted. Like, exhausted. Right. Because he just basically did 2-3 rounds worth of burnout. And then to come back from that, deal with what he was dealing with leading up to King Arthur's fight. And I never seen Anthony Yard get hit by that many jabs. Some of the jabs I understood because it was off timing. Right. King Arthur was giving a hit, boom, giving a hit. It was a lot of off timing technique, boom, whatever. But Anthony Yard, man, his vision is impeccable. So I'm like, what the hell is he doing getting hit by this many jabs, you know? So, and then you find out after the fight what he was dealing with going into that fight, that whole camp, and then to come back from that and then emphatically destroy King Arthur in that rematch. And I love me some King Arthur. I love his technique, his fundamentals. He blasted him.
I remember that joint.
Oh, I couldn't, like, he left no, oh, y'all really think that was one that, oh, y'all really think about that first fight? Okay, I'm gonna make sure y'all don't even fucking remember that first fight when I'm done with it. That was that type of performance. And when he did what he did to him, I was like, damn. Cause I've seen him break guys down, but that was him early coming up in his career, the type of demolition he did on him. And this is a top guy we talking about here. So going into this fight, I told everybody, if Anthony could take that punch,
it's a hell of a punch to take, man.
Hell yeah, that's a punch
get hit with center blocks. It's got to be.
And it's all here.
Right.
It's all here. It's not full torque. It's all from here. And I mean, when he did that jump to Marcus Brown.
Yeah, the Marcus Brown fight.
Marcus Brown, man, I've been a fan of him. I've had the chance to meet him, whatever, but I watched him since the amateurs. I'm like, man, he gonna give him all he want. Man, I felt so bad for Marcus Brown because he did everything his skill sets could do, and the power just broke his stamina down.
Yeah.
And everything that was left of Marcus Brown. People wanted to say shit about Marcus Brown. I hope he sees this clip of me saying, man, you stood your ground to the end, and I tip my hat to
100%.
you, man.
That's a hell of a fight.
Man, he didn't quit. That was the definition of fuck you. I'm going out on my shield. You want to finish me? Finish me.
Right.
But I ain't going out lightly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna take your best shit and I'm not gonna sit there and waver on you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just gonna fall. And and people don't understand that, man. Like, that's an emotional thing because you are taking years off your life with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You are taking years off your life. You're taking a sacrifice that as you taking these shots and man, I want to be able to make sure I talk well.
Mm-hmm.
I can count my money without skipping numbers. Can help my kid with their homework. Not a problem. That's them type of shots. Because you got some men, and Better BF is one of them guys where he hits you and you can forget where you are. Y'all don't understand that. And BINK understands that because BINK played football. BINK telling me story. I remember it was like months ago when I sent you that clip where the dude said it's like being in a fishbowl and he reached down to grab the ball and it looked like it was tilted. You said, bro, it'd be like that for a whole next 2-3 plays, sometimes a whole quarter. And I know guys who've been hit by power punchers, and I tell this story all the time. Uncle Bubbles told me a story one time. He said, man, one of the weirdest, scariest things he ever seen was a guy get hit and they were leaving the arena and they were standing outside. And he said, man, I can't find my bag. Yeah, I go back to the dressing room. How do you get to the dressing room? Just for it. And he said, your bag been right there the whole time.
Yeah.
Stories of my dad sitting there, telling me him and Ray in the dressing room. They were amateurs at the time. And the dude forgot how to tie his shoes. Like, because of the punishment he had just finished taking. Or, Robert Garcia talking about his brother saying, remember I told you that story where he got dropped and he got up, he was hurt, got up, got to the corner, came back 4 rounds later and knocked the guy out and he thought he lost. Like, that's the type of power you're dealing with when you're dealing. Now, with Anthony Yarde power is sharp, crisp, fast, to where he hits you and you don't see it coming now. You kind of know where you are, but it's all like this. Better BF can hit you and now you're a zombie for the next round, just going through the motions. Kind of like how Katie Taylor was. Like, she knows she's in a fight, but it's all heart, nuts, guts, and just muscle memory. And next thing you know, those type of fights, like Joe Louis when he said, man, I don't remember nothing past. When he fought Max Schmeling, he took 37 right hands, counter right hands that night. Yeah. He said he didn't remember nothing past round 2 or 3. Prince Nassim Ahmed, when he beat Augie Sanchez, the great Augie Sanchez, he said he didn't remember nothing past round 4 or something like that. And people would tell him about the fight, and he said, man, I only remember the ring walk. And then he only that's the type of fight you're dealing with. When you talk about a puncher like Better Be It, where he's like, even if I block this shot might really do some damage here. And you talking about somebody like Anthony Yarde who got size on him. Like, you talking about this, Anthony Yarde is the big dude. And
man, it's gonna be tough, man. Like, he gonna have to. Can he sustain the storm? It's like some guys with that power that buzz through you like a chainsaw, but Better BF, he got that axe. He just constant.
It feels, instead of it sounding like this, instead of it feeling like a it sounds like a car. Sometimes when you get punched, for people who don't know, it feels like a car door closing. Like, you ever sat in your car and you got a friend you dropping off and they get out your car and they're not purposely trying to do it, but they slam your door. You like, yo, don't slam my door. Like, that thud, that's what it feels like to get hit. in boxing, like especially if it's a power puncher. But when it's a power puncher, it's such a like you have certain shots you get hit with, and I think Anthony Yarde's power is probably like this, where it's like a zzz, like
that's that reference I'm making. It's like that chainsaw, that zzz.
like a bead, like you just stuck your finger inside of a song like that,
Right.
like that. That's what it feel like. With Better BF is more.
You ever seen a lumberjack with the flannel rolled up and the big stocky overalls? And they just hitting that damn tree, boom, boom, boom. Like that's like that dude Better BF, y'all. And when he fought Joe Smith, you just seen the power was just.
And
so,
Joe Smith can crack too.
He can crack, and he's tough. He's sturdy, man. He been through a lot of shit, but
hell yeah,
man, I didn't expect him to wear him and break him that early,
that
quick. You just seen the disparity in level of power, man. It was crazy, man. And I think Yarde fared better than Joe Smith did against Better BF.
Of course.
But I really like this fight, man. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting, man. But you know, at the same time, Better BF been down too. He been down. He been hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt too. Maybe he got up and ran into the rope.
Right. He been down. Woo! He been hurt, but somehow he found a way to get back up and like that. Boom, boom, boom. It gets him out of so much trouble. He breaks guys down. I can't wait to see this fight, man. Alfonso Walton, he said, "Hey chat, smash that like button for the guys. Appreciate you, man." Dose, he said Joe Smith usually has a chin. He do. That's why I was so. What he stopped him in 2 rounds?
Yeah,
3 rounds.
2 rounds. But remember, do you remember what I told you before that fight started? Do you remember?
I forget, bro.
We were on the phone, y'all.
I don't know how you be remembering stuff, bro. I be forgetting everything.
And you know what's crazy? I have a great long-term memory, but a horrible short-term memory.
Right.
And I think that's probably because of all the shit we've been in. Because he has a great short-term memory, but bad long-term.
Terrible.
That's why we always we got each other, man. I'm telling you. But we were on the phone, and I told you, I said, I talk to Joe Smith Jr. sometimes through Instagram and be talking. And I like him. But if he ain't got enough amateur experience to fight this boy. And he was like, yeah, that's true.
And you saw the experience once he got that first that wave of power hit him. He's like, oh shit. He panicked.
He couldn't jab with him. Because even though the jab is so thudding from Better BF, and what I'm about to say is easier said than done. All right, cool. I'm just saying I ain't stupid. But all Joe had to do was give him a barrier. Because remember, Joe's here.
Right.
He fights everything from here. So now, instead of doing this, even though I got my hands up, you have a clear shot to throw your jab. Like, put your arm out. You have a clear shot right here, right? Now leave it up. Now, but if I do this,
right.
And now, if I do, now bring your hand up. If I do this, boom, and then boom, throw my jab back.
Right.
Even if it don't land, it's stay away from me.
Right.
Type of thing. Like, stay away. Stay away. Like it's almost he's throwing stay away punches, and he's just giving them an extra barrier they have to get through.
Right.
He beat Joe off of pure amateur experience that night, and then the power. And that's my opinion on it. So with Anthony though, I'm telling you, I already know the game plan. Not because I talked to him. I have to talk to him, but I just know how he fights. He's gonna try to make him look stupid, and he's gonna pick his spots where he's gonna. And when he sits here, because his whole thing is, he do that junk that my father do. My father used to do stuff like this. Like, he be in front of you. And my father never did the Philly shit. My father, he would do this. He'll fight like this. Like, he'll have his, whatever. And then he'll swing his arm a little bit. Get you looking at this. And then as soon as you think it's relaxed, he'll feint you. And you'll throw something to put it out. And he'll, boom, come over top. And Anthony Yarde is probably the only person I ever seen. Because Floyd did it, but Floyd did it from back here.
Yeah.
So he had leverage. Roy did it from back here. And my father would do it from leaning into the pick and then coming over top. That's you sacrificing almost some leverage there. It's still what, he make guys know about it. Anthony Yarde's the only person I've ever seen who can do it and pick it from halfway in and then throw it and hurt a guy. And that's going to be his thing. And then he's going to try to throw those triple hooks. But at the same time, he has to respect. If I'm Anthony, I'm doing those counters, but I'm leaving something to that body just to see if I can take some steam off this motherfucker by round 6. Cause I'm telling you, if Anthony's my fighter, the first 6 rounds, look Anthony, the first, or as Coach Tunde Ajayi say, Anthony, the first 6 rounds are crucial. First 6 rounds are gonna be crucial. Got to get through those first 4, 5, 6 rounds. Kind of like with Benavidez. Except for with Benavidez, more volume. But it's...
I feel like Benavidez be getting stronger later on in the fight, though.
Yes.
He be strong.
But you got to understand, though. You're absolutely right. He does get stronger. But once you get stronger, too, if you see, oh, this man backing up. I got him.
That is true.
Because look at Margarito. Even though we know why.
Yeah, no bullshit.
But can you imagine? Because... when you hit, and this coming from experience, I remember being a little kid watching. I'm like, how you could be so tired and hurt the guy, and all of a sudden you see these guys get all this energy thrown. Cause it's like, oh shit, I could go home. They trying to get rid of this family.
Right.
So you could be getting tired, but round 5, 6, you say you're not going 100 miles, you're not going 80 no more, cause you never really see Better BF go 100 miles an hour. He always keeps it pretty level. He pick it up to 80 miles an hour.
Right. That dog could be coasting.
Like he'll pick it up to 80 a little bit, but he always keep it smooth 60, 65 as he working.
Right.
But it's like road work for him. And what I mean by that is, and I've said this 1,000 times, it's way more young fighters watching. It's way coming from somebody with legs. It's way more exhausting to try to keep a guy off you, and he keep coming and cutting the ring off. Like this little motherfucker right here. Like, staying on you. And don't let him have boxing ability, not just head on the line bringing it to you. Like, he bringing it to you, and he got some tricks to you. It's way more exhausting to try to keep a guy off you, let alone a power punch you, because you start to get anxiety, you start to get mentally exhausted and physically exhausted. So you're throwing these shots, and you pivot around this Bama, and as you pivot around them, boom, all of a sudden, dang, didn't I just leave this motherfucker over there? Nope. I just thought, and he right back on you. It's way easier to be tired and know that I'm still walking you down. Like Canelo does it all the time. Canelo could be hitting 60, 55 miles an hour tired, but he's walking you down systematically. He steps his right foot over, cuts the ring off a little bit, and walks you down, because it's like doing road work. Because like in my line, you could be dog tired doing your road work, but you get that last mile, the repetition of just going forward, just keep moving forward, and just keep throwing your punches going forward. It's way more easier to just keep bringing that pressure, because he the one who got to keep you off of him. His back is the one touching the rope. That's the thing. It's way more exhausting to go backwards, try to keep a guy off of you, and then walking the guy down, staying on top. Like Ray Leonard said it. He said, I was exhausted trying to keep up with Tommy. But it was way more different than early rounds and him walking me down. So that's a big thing when you come into those type of fights. Because now you gotta wonder, because the type of thudding power that Better BF had, you could pay a price for blocking it. Like, you could wind up pulling, remember when you was a kid, people used to play with you, pull a frog in your arm, make your muscle pop up. It's that shit happens in boxing when dudes hit your forearm. Go look at when Miguel Cotto, you probably don't even remember this fight, but when Miguel Cotto was early in his career, just right before he fought Paulie Malignaggi, he fought Jaluco Blanco. He fought Bronco, dude from Italy, broke his forearms, broke his humerus. He broke his humerus, broke both of these, fractured them. Because dude was blocking all that. He just kept, boom, and just he broke the dude. And you can see the dude, when it finally broke, he did this. Like, that's that type of power that Better BF got. That is.
Yup. Caitlin Smith versus Canelo, same kind of effect. Same kind of effect, man.
Man,
I feel like the fight to make, man. So you got Better BF. He got 3 of the titles. He fighting Anthony Yard. Him and Bivol, man. They gotta run that shit.
I got Bivol.
They gotta run that shit. And I was about to say, I'm taking Bivol in that fight.
Man.
I'm taking Bivol in that fight. Bivol is special, man.
Man, what?
Bivol, and I've been trying to tell y'all like I said last episode, I'm a Canelo guy. Everybody know I defended Canelo tooth and nail for the longest.
Unfortunately.
You know, look, he know. I mean, I was his biggest advocate. I mean, he got caught up with the meat now in Mexico. Pause. And hey, go ahead. He got caught up.
Stop feeding this shit, man. Get your man. He always gotta make this shit know. Like, bro, he the most professional ass.
But go ahead,
No. We ain't gonna breeze past that. Cause he wanna sit there and say I'm doing too much. But this dude always, am I lying, Kenichi? Even when we off air. Yeah, man, like the dude, he was in great shape, pause. But like, I'm like, what the fuck you saying pause for? We know we talking about boxing. The dude in dog shape. What the fuck? He just gotta make it known.
It's
instead
a disclaimer,
of just letting it roll. Disclaimer my ass. Disclaimer my ass. Just keep going. He the main professional one out of all of it. He the one who be like, nah, he the one quiet as just kept coming by. All right, Junior, come on, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Nah, but yet and still, I gotta be the one to sit there and be the PR guy over here. Our producer ain't gonna flag the shit. He ain't gonna say, hey, pause.
Don't say pause every episode. Ain't no
man,
bull.
what? Every fucking
ain't
time.
No bull, cause shit be crazy
Every
sometimes,
time.
bro. You gotta let folks know.
Dear
Let folks know.
God.
But yeah, hey, Alfonso,
well,
Biffo,
that's my birthday gift I want from you today. No more pause the rest of this episode.
No more pause.
God
Rest of the
damn.
episode. I got you. Fonzo said Biffo all day. He also said Cotto was nasty in his day. That's 100% facts, man. But like I said, Bivol versus Beterbiev.
Yeah,
I'm taking Bivol all day. Boxing ability, he's special.
Go get
He gonna be too much. He gonna be way too much for Beterbiev. And I think by the time that fight happens, hell no. Okay. I think by the time that fight happens with Bivol and Beterbiev, I think Beterbiev might be turning that corner where his age might be starting to play a factor and things like that. All the wars he's been through, I'm gonna start playing a factor. But I want to ask y'all this, man. Miguel Cotto, one of the best to do it. Do y'all think that fight with Margarito, the first fight, do y'all think that took a toll on him? And how do you think his career would have been a little different if he never took the damage he took in that first fight against Margarito? How y'all feel about that? Hey, Doe said I bet $5. He say pause before y'all wrap it up. Hey, it's a bet. We're gonna post the cash out, bro. I'll bet you. You hear what I asked though?
What?
I asked in the chat. I said, I'm talking about Miguel Cotto. Oh. I was saying, do you think the first fight with Margarito that had an effect on his career? How much different do you think his career would have been if he never took that damage in that first fight against Margarito? He was able to, withstand it and have a regular fight without, the loaded hand wraps and shit.
He would have continued his onslaught a little longer. People understand, man. I'm real high on that damage, man. Real high on that punchy. You don't even hear. I don't even hear coaches speak about that shit no more. Like tell they fighters about being punchy.
Right.
Like this kid don't hear his coach slurring or something, or sounding nasally.
Right.
Like, of course, you're not gonna tell the 8-year-old fighter that, because it might go in one ear out the other. But me, I was learning that at a very early age, and two, I was older than my age. Like I acted older than my age, so I was able to listen, comprehend with all the fighters. So, but you don't hear that much and so you take that to. Can you imagine? Margarito has all of this shit in his gloves, right? All of this stuff in his gloves. And he's wearing horsehair Reyes's. Classic horsehair Reyes's. Can you imagine? He getting his hands wrapped, right? And for people who understand, this is from boxing that I'm talking about and also from medical school what I'm talking about. The stuff that's used to make a cast, you dip it in the water to activate it. And then it gets hard. It starts, it becomes a cast once it settles. Of course, BINK know because he played football. Sometimes them dudes will wrap a big club cast around their hands and stuff like that to play, so they could play, so it's really protected. When you're in there, can you imagine he getting his hands wrapped, bro? And it's dry. It's dry right now. Gets signed off. Commissioner signs off. And then he gets in the ring. You got water getting poured on your head, going down your arm into the glove. You sweating, your hands the gloves starting to get hot and sweat. So now after round 4, 5, 6, 7, it's getting harder. And what was Margarito known for back in the day? Throwing over 1,000 punches.
Puncher, yeah.
And he would throw more as the fight went on. He was known as a slow starter. So I wondered, like, how did this confidence go? I know he denies it and all that other shit. Man, bullshit. I don't give, man. Oh, my man, y'all gonna piss me off. It's coming from somebody with hand issues who was around Gary Russell Jr. in the amateurs with hand issues. Gary Allen Russell III, hand issues. You know what's going on with your hands. Because as you're getting your hands wrapped, what do you always see fighters do? They might have their headphones in. And what do you always see them do? They always go, they'll be wrapping their hands. They go, good, and they'll go. Or they'll go, no.
Yeah.
Because you know, because you're taught at an early age, these your money makers. These are your money makers. Don't fuck that up. You not gonna tell me he ain't know. And that's the fight going on, your hand getting harder and harder. You sitting there, gotta have the biggest smile. Remember when he was fighting Cotto? He getting the biggest smile on his face as round 7, 8, 9.
I'm flashing back to it now. Me and my
Man,
dad watched that fight.
And like, Cotto was hitting him with some shit.
Right, you see Cotto sitting down on the stool in between rounds. He's like,
man, Cotto was hitting him with some, because remember, everybody thought Cotto was gonna stand in the middle. You know how remember his legs wasn't as sharp yet. He was still getting his legs good, moving around. And that man was boxing beautiful, hitting him with some crushing shots.
Because Cotto was banging on Margarito
banging
early
on
in the fight.
him.
He was getting off,
Switching southpaw, brick, stab, brick. Oh my.
Banging on him until that shit started adding up and you seen his body start to break down. It's like, shit.
And you seeing Margarito getting off the stool before him doing this.
Yeah.
Smiling at him. And Cotto getting tired more and more. And then in round 7, I want to say it was about 1:48 left in the round. You see the short uppercut come as Cotto, right? And you hear Max go, oh, Cotto's hurt, guys. Cotto's hurt. Fight was over right then and there. Because you saw these next 5 rounds are going to be a race to the finish line for him to try to make it there. And it felt, and people got to understand, Miguel Cotto's father, rest in peace, great man from wherever, I never had the chance to meet him, but everybody who I know who met Cotto and his father said, man, his father was a great guy. Boxed in the military. And you know what, did you ever see the quote what his father said? He said, remember, Cotto's face was pretty puffed up. He wasn't swollen grotesquely, but he was pretty puffed up. And he had like a bloody nose or whatever. He said, now you got to think when he woke up the next morning how much his face
really swelled up, yeah.
They took him to the hospital. He said, I boxed in the military. You see things. But my son is bleeding out of his eyeballs. His eyeball. He said, not his eye, like a cut eye. He said, my son is bleeding out of his eyeballs, his ears. Now, let's go back further. I want you to look this up real quick. Look up Antonio Margarito versus Sebastian Lujan. Go look at what Margarito did. And I want to do anybody in the chat know what he did to Sebastian Lujan. When you look this up, bruh, prepare yourself. Because I remember watching that fight. My father was gone. He came back to the house. And it was in the middle of the fight. Oh, that's because my father liked Margarito. He said, man, that boy keep coming. Whatever. Tell me if you ever seen this before. Anybody in the chat, if you're able to, if you Google what the hell he did to that man, go look at the damage. Go look at the images. Matter of fact, type in Sebastian Lujan ear. And it might go to images. See if it's still there anyway. Because it might still be there.
Oh,
there it is.
That's crazy.
Hit that joint right there for real quick. When he started bouncing, like you know how you finish the sequence, the fighter bounce his rhythm and then go back to working?
Yeah.
It started bouncing. His ear was bouncing. The referee did this. Break. Okay. All right. Let's go work. The referee did that. He went, all right, let's.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, that's what he did to this man. He's like, his ears hanging off. Come up here, his ears hanging off.
It's sad, man, because when I think about it, it's like, yo, Margarito really had a skill set. He could have been great without cheating. You know what I'm saying? We got Yum Yums. What's up? She said Silk BINK, the goats of the boxing podcast. We appreciate you so much.
I appreciate that.
Dose was saying again about Cotto fight Margarito. He said absolutely he got damaged badly for real in that fight.
Yes.
And then that's Ace, right?
Where?
Yum Yums. Ain't that Ace?
Yeah, if they put QUE, they put Silk. Yeah, that's definitely probably Ace.
She said. So, do you think taking a fight too soon is damaging to a boxer's career?
Hell yeah,
100%.
Hell yeah, you could ruin a guy.
100%.
Even in the amateurs, I remember my father had Keyshawn Williams.
Right.
And Keyshawn had blew through guys who had 13 fights his first few fights, and he was about to go to regionals in the Silver Gloves. And Dad was like, if I take him to the regionals. Because you can't say, like in a show, I want my kid to fight nobody over 3 fights. Can't do that in a tournament. Bracket is the bracket.
Right.
And he just said, if the kid's too much for him, I'm just going to stop it early to protect them.
Right.
Because he got the experience. He got the trade. You know, you're a kid. You're like, yo, I won this and I got to go here, you know. But people got to understand, when Cotto took that damage, even when he fought his next fight against Cloudy, he was turning his head in the beginning of the round. He had to get adjusted. Like, you tenderizing. You're basically just like how you do at a butcher shop. Yeah. You're tenderizing the person. Like that. He still would have. Nobody's saying that Mr. Dose. Nobody's saying that he would have beat Floyd or he would have. He gave Floyd all he wanted. But the problem when he fought Floyd was he did the same sequence each time. You can't do that with somebody like Floyd. He would bounce 2-3 times. Manuel Stewart said it early too.
What he
He's doing this.
For Cotto, he would have lost Floyd Manny though. He probably third and fourth best.
Yeah.
In the era. Yeah, I think he still would have lost to Manny and Floyd back then. But yeah, I definitely think that damage took a toll on his career. Changed how he fought. Love you too, Ace. Ace Boogie, right? Love you, prima. Te quiero mucho. Yeah, but I'm looking at Cotto's box rec, man. So that was in 2008. He didn't get a chance to run that back with Margarito until 2011. And even then, like it buried the hatchet for him, but you still knew the damage that was done. Yeah, you know, and it was no different than Mildred Taylor with the Chavez fight. That damage stayed. Right. Kevin Kelly, you hear me talk about Kevin Kelly, one of my favorite fighters personally ever. And what do you always hear me say? Dang, I wish they could have took 2 or 3 of them wars off of his career before he fought Hamed. What a phenomenal career he had, man. Miguel Cotto. Oh my God. Oh my man, God. Man, what? People go nuts for him. Man, that ring walk when he had his son and he's walking, you hear the crowd getting louder and louder as he gets closer to the tunnel, and he says, all right, go to your mother. Gave him a kiss, so he runs to his mother and he walks out. It's like, bro, it's like a freaking movie, man. Yeah. He was a true champion, man. He's one. Sometimes I have him as my wallpaper, like for like a week, as an example. Like guys like him, Andre Ward. Like I had him as my wallpaper for like a few days. That was my dad's favorite fighter back then. I remember my dad was always talking about Cotto. Yeah, Cotto the guy. Cotto nice. I remember that, man. Remember that shit. And now we about to have another Margarito Cotto up in here with these 2 mugs over here. Who you got your money on? I got my money on the sister. I do. Oh, my bad. I didn't know you heard me. I do. I think she might get him. Let's see in the chat. We got, he said Fernando Vargas is a perfect example. Yes! A lot of damage. He asked if his career would be different, and I'm saying, yeah, but he still would have lost to Floyd and Manny. Right. Definitely, man. But the Manny thing, it was a special, man. No. We ain't gonna just do, they was special. They was special, man. Floyd was special talent. Manny was special too. I ain't taking nothing away from Manny. No, bro. I'm not taking nothing from Manny, but I'm just gonna keep it all the way tall for y'all. He fought Floyd. If we really want to talk about it, and y'all always hear me say, I still believe Floyd would have won, but Floyd didn't want to fight him before Margarito. Before that damage he took against Margarito, Floyd didn't want to step out there with that. Thank God he would have got him. Yes, I did. 100%. I just said that. But 100%. At the same time, let's call it. We ain't gonna sit there and breeze past. Oh, my hands hurt, and he wanted to let all of them beat the shit out of each other, and then he wanted to come back and all right, now they all damaged. Now they all damaged. I can fight him. And when he fights Cotto, he still gives Cotto his props to this day about how good Cotto fought him. But the mistakes that Cotto made was. Cotto, he needed more of the old Cotto instead of new. He was still showing some of the old Cotto in that fight, but he would bounce too much and give 3 bounce sequences. Bounce, sequence, stop,
and then go. And you can't do that same sequence nonstop with somebody like Floyd.
That's what I was saying. Do y'all think the damage took a toll on Cotto? Because I think Cotto against Pacquiao, I don't think he gets stopped.
Yes, because
if he didn't take the damage,
you got to remember, what was the catch weight? He killed Cotto. He killed Cotto to make that. And two, at that time, go look at how you don't never see Cotto talk about Manny. He don't talk about Manny. He don't associate with Manny because he has from what I've been told, this is not personally from what Cotto has said. This is from people who've been around Cotto in his camps, whatever, who have told me they feel like Cotto feel like he cheated. And he kicked me. I don't like him. I ain't like because he kicked my ass. Like even Paulie Malignaggi talked about it some years ago on this podcast. He said, because remember at that time, Paulie was training in LA and training at Wild Card.
Mm-hmm.
This interview got him kicked out of Wild Card. He said, Cotto don't like him because you remember the gym was upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
They built that downstairs one for Cotto because he didn't want to be, from what I've been told, he didn't want to be around him. But he knew he needed Freddie.
Right.
And basically, and you got to give it to Cotto because Cotto's one of the most honest fighters you're going to come across. He's very critical of himself and his career. He tells the truth. And you got to love that. But he said, I've heard from people that said it, man, he feel like not only did he drain him, but he killed him to make the weight, put it at a catch weight. And he had Cotto exhausted and drained as the rounds went on. And then he's going to tell Cotto, come on, you going to tell me you going to let Cotto, come on, and smile, letting him hit you on the ropes. And that right there made a lot of people, and from what I've heard from a lot of people that say, I don't know how true it is, because remember I said it's not directly from his camp. This is from, and from Cotto, this is people telling me this is from him being around this camp or whatever. Second ear, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That, yeah, this guy didn't just kick my ass. He had to be on something.
Well, that's the big thing about Manny, too. People thought he was on something from how many weight divisions he jumped up so fast.
And stopping guys.
Right.
He was jumping up these weight classes and destroying bigger guys.
But when I'm looking at boxing, I'm just looking at it from like what's
skill
going
set
on in the ring and skill set, talent-wise. You know, I don't, because you can tit for tat and go into conspiracy theories and who was on this, who was on that, and all of that, man. I try to look at it for what happened and what we witnessed, what we saw. And I think what I saw from Manny that night, Manny, his skill set was just different. Even with, I don't think Manny needed to cheat to beat Cotto. I think it still would have been the same outcome. Maybe not as vicious.
That's nice.
I don't think he would have stopped him, but I still think he still beats Cotto regardless of whatever.
That's nice.
It is nice. That's how I feel. I ain't backing down on that one.
Nah,
Manny's a special talent.
He's nice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking that from him, but I'm sorry. You ain't just walking through these big guys like that. You not walking through these big guys like that. I'm going to tell y'all this, man. I'm going to keep it all the way funky for you. I done sat there and been in there with big dudes, and they got on 18 ounces. And they done sat there, and they taking the power off, and they hit me, and I'm like, good. Cause I'm in camp at 38 pounds. Maybe 44 at the highest. Getting hit, and you like, shit. What the fuck was that? Like, my vision, not just a dude get hit. I mean, every shot, they taking the power off because they got 40 pounds on me. Some of these dudes fighting at 54, fighting at 47. They walking around in the gym at 70 pounds and jump. And I'm getting hit. And I'm like, what the I'm blocking it, picking it. And I'm picking the shot and getting, fuck. That is, man, bump all that. You ain't just walking through these big guys. Skill for skill. Even look at Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran could crack with the best of them. Came up from lightweight. Went and he still had to break them guys down. He wasn't just walking through Iran Barkley. He wasn't just walking through Davey Boy Moore. He wasn't just walking through them guys. He had to break. He was still knocking them out, but he had to break them dudes down. Cotto was destroying these dudes. Destroying them.
Manny didn't really walk through Cotto, though.
Shit.
Man, it wasn't no cakewalk for Manny.
Shit.
No
come on.
I think he overwhelmed. He overwhelmed Cotto.
Come on, Bink.
Let's go back. Let's put the punch stats. Let's pull it up.
What do you mean punch stats?
I want to pull it up. I want to see.
No.
I want to see. Let's pull it up. No, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up because they can't see the tape. So I'm gonna pull up the numbers.
What does the numbers got to do with it?
That's what happened in the fight.
Man, please, them punch stats. Come on, man. They can't even get punch stats right in the amateurs.
Let's pull it up. Let's see.
Kenichi, get your boy.
Nah,
he drained Cotto. Put him at a catch weight, drained him. And then not only drained him, he had him in there, and as soon as he hit him, he was hurt. As soon as he hit him, he was hurt. And then you gonna let. Okay. Kenichi, what weight class was you in again? 120, right? Like 120 something, right? Was you 22 or 19? 112.
Damn.
So, okay. You at 112. So, let's say you at 112. What happened to the music? I need my music, man. Don't mess up my groove. But let's say you at 112. You go up to 119 and you got Scooter there. I'm speaking as you being a pro now, right? And you wind up Kenichi, you go up to 119 and you fight Scooter. Are you expecting to just walk straight through Scooter? And you're coming up 7 pounds. Thank you. Even if you have him, you know what? I'm at 112, you at 119. We're gonna do it at a catch weight, 117. Now he's a little bit more weaker. Do you expect, of course you expect him to win because you done did all this work, your skill sets and all that stuff, but are you still expecting him to just walk straight through somebody like Scooter ain't gonna hurt him? Like, that's what he basically did to Cotto. He drained him and he was still walking through him like it was nothing, like he hitting him with these shots and ruining them. Like, I'm like, he's moving up in these weight classes and putting guys, like he's stretching these guys out. He was hurting these guys badly,
right,
beating on them senseless. Come on now.
Here we go. Total punch stats. Pacquiao threw 780 punches, landed 336. Cotto threw 597, landed 172. Cotto did out-edge him in jabs. He landed 79 to Pacquiao 60. But like you saying, what told the story in that fight against Cotto was the power punch stat.
Mm-hmm.
Pacquiao threw 560 power punches, landed 276 to Miguel Cotto's landed only 93 power punches out of 300.
Again, Mr. Doe said, nah, he drained Oscar, not Cotto. Go check what was the weight? Let me see the weight, because he might be right, because I do remember it was somebody drained. So what was the weight?
He fought Cotto at 147.
147. And
he fought Cotto at 147. Look, he just pulled it up here too. So damn, Dose quick with it. He quicker than me. Damn. And typed it up. Hey, go ahead, Dose. I see you, bro.
Hell yeah.
I see you, man. What did he say? He said, nah, he drained Oscar. Yeah, then the punch stats. I mean, if you go back and watch the tape, you can see it. He overwhelmed Cotto. He overwhelmed him. And Cotto used the jab. That's what he was surviving off of in that fight, was the jab. And I do feel you about the negotiations and the pre-fight and maybe draining him down to a catch weight and everything like that. But I mean, you could pick apart every fight like that, contractual agreements and shit like that, to get an edge in the ring. That's all I'm saying.
It's just, to me, man, I'm sorry. The weight, man, I'm sorry. You just don't. Wow. Anyway, message I just got. Bro, read this real quick while I go ahead and say what I'm about to say. So, but I'm not saying he wouldn't have beat Cotto. I'm just saying that it wouldn't have been exactly. It wouldn't have been like that. It would have been a little bit of a different fight. You mean like even with Margarito being bigger than Cotto, he was beat, even though we know what we know. But I mean, like, he still wasn't just walking through Margarito, who's bigger. And you mean to tell me, gonna tell me that some guy from Flyway's gonna do that?
Let's look at the volume.
Even me sparring guys bigger than me. You can have when I was more active, you can have all the skill sets you want. I ain't walking through no damn Jareem Hutchinson. I ain't walking through no Blaze Fittler. I ain't walking through no Justin Hurd. Slick. I ain't walking through no Swift. What? Please.
I feel you.
Your skill set's there. The skill set's gonna be there, but you're just not gonna get over on no guy. No, I ain't walking through no VG, no Sam Cross. No, Pat MF Rivera. That just ain't happening.
I feel you. So then let's go. Let's compare the punch stats for the first fight against Cotto and Margarito. Damn. Margarito threw 987 punches that fight, landed 267.
So he was on track to 1,000, basically.
Right. He only landed 27% of his total punches. Cotto threw 655, landed 280, landed 43% of his total punches. Cotto, his jab must be beautiful, man. He landed 101 out of his 260 jabs. Margarito only landed 30 jabs that fight, 9% out of 340 jabs. Again, the power punches. Margarito threw 647 power punches and landed 237 to Miguel Cotto's 179 out of 395, 45%.
And Mr. Dose just said, you're definitely right. So Manny kind of destroyed Cotto. I'm not going to say easy, but it was not close. That's all I'm saying. Like, that shit don't look right.
Right, and that's why I asked the whole question in the first place is what did this fight, Margarito Cotto 1, really do to Cotto? I feel like this fight right here, I'm looking at the punch stats. These loaded ass punches, 237 loaded cast iron punches that Cotto had to eat to get through this fight.
With horsehair gloves on.
I feel like that's what I was saying. That's what I've been saying. I feel like the fight with Pacquiao would have been way different. But then again, I can't take nothing away from Pacquiao because of his skill set.
Real quick,
his skill set special.
Can we tip our hat to Mrs. Cotto?
Yeah, 100%.
Because she's one of the other boxer wives that's like on that upper echelon of women who's like a true boxer's wife who took care and stuck by Miguel. Like, and I mean, can you imagine taking care of him after that?
I can only imagine, man.
Jesus Christ.
You gotta be 10 toes down for your man, bro. You gotta be 10 toes down for your man to especially like a fighter or an athlete, period. It's tough, man. Because the sacrifice they make is second to really none, to be honest. For real. I like that though, man. That's good back and forth. Cotto Margarito. That's a good topic right there. What else y'all want to talk about, man? Look, we wrapping up. It's 2023. It's the last episode of the year. What else y'all want to talk about? Anything
this man
boxing?
Talking like this, the season is over. Like, we ain't gonna be back next Friday.
Nah, I mean it's season 1, but we'll be back next year. We'll be back next year. Season 2, slip and counter. What else y'all want to talk about, man? The floor is yours.
Yeah, y'all throw the topic out. I'm gonna sit there let my people know I'm good.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate everybody, man, that's been tapping in with the show, Slip and Counter. You know, tapping into the chat, keeping it interesting. We appreciate y'all. Really do. Thank you to our sponsor, Big Roy, a Paso Mexican restaurant out in Alexandria.
Big Roy.
Shout out to them. It's been great, man. It's been great. Shakur got a fight yet? I don't think Shakur got a fight inked in yet. I don't think. Let me look that up. I feel like I heard something about they was talking about something with Shakur. I don't think he got nothing inked in, like permanent yet.
Yeah, he's still trying. I think he done gave like 3 contracts out or 2 contracts out, and he ain't getting nothing back on.
All right, folks is like, nah, I'm good. I don't blame him. Shakur hot right now. Pause. Hey, I lost the bet there. See, look, I'm trying to be funny.
What are you laughing at?
I'm trying to be funny.
What, Special K? What are you giggling at? And he hell.
Hey, I'm trying to be funny and lost the damn bet. It's all good. Hey, I'll shoot you 5 to your Cash App, though. Oh, man. First of all, they need to do my...
on your side with them two.
They got to do Shakur better on his box rec picture, man. Like, come on, man.
Nah, you know what's foul, bro? When they tried to put his mugshot as his box rec picture, that was some disrespectful, foul stuff.
They need to stop doing that, man. They love to tear people down. They love to tear people down, man. I don't understand you getting into media, you getting into boxing media or whatever media you in. Whatever media you in, and you want to go straight to posting bullshit and negative shit.
That's what
don't make no sense. You have an obligation to post the truth.
They don't care about that, baby.
But I don't understand. Like it don't. I just don't get it. I would never get on this mic and look in this camera and lie to y'all. I would never do that. I would never get on this camera, get in front of this camera and talk in front of this mic and talk about shit I don't know nothing about. I would never do that. It just blows my mind. People on these big media platforms, I got all these followers, get on here and just post nonsense, man.
They don't care about none of that.
And I hope everybody eat their words about that Tank shit. Everybody that posted Tank's mugshot, I hope you feel stupid. I hope you feel dumb.
Bruh,
Golly.
they don't care about none of that, bro. All they care about is getting clicks. They know who they are. They know exactly who they are. Because they have no shame.
Mm-hmm.
They have zero shame. And money will make you do that. The money of being able, okay, this is how I make my money. So I'm going to ride this glove thing to the wheels fall. I'm going to ride this bud thing to the wheels fall off. I'm going to ride this negotiating. Whatever the topic is at that point that's hot, they ride it to the ground and they'll purposely go on the opposite side knowing they sound like a fool and will ride that. That's why I don't respect a lot of it. And two, I don't respect a lot of them because they got the most shit to say. I say this all the time. They got the most shit to say.
Boxing Media. Real talk. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to the Second Wind Boxing Media. They the other hottest boxing podcast in the DMV. Make sure you go check out the Second Wind Boxing Media. They doing it real big.
Matter of fact, I hope y'all know when y'all watch Second Wind Boxing who y'all watching. Mm-hmm. I just hope y'all know exactly who y'all watching. I know he don't want me to, but it's like he's very humble since I was a little boy. But I hope y'all just know the eyes y'all looking into when y'all looking at camera.
Yeah.
I mean,
saying. Right. He a bad boy, man.
Let's just put it like this. Floyd, Augie Sanchez, who else about Shane Mosley, all those guys from that era, yesteryear coming up, they know him very well. He was there in the mix. He was in one of the names that you knew was going to be at the tournament. Mm-hmm. Him and his brother. Just saying.
No doubt.
When it comes to what people don't that's why I don't respect a lot of them. I have zero respect for a lot of them because they got the most shit to say, and they ain't never been punched in the mouth before. Mm-hmm. They never won anything in their life. Mm-hmm. Like never fought for nothing. Not saying you got to be a fighter, but they ain't never fought for nothing. They don't know what it's like to recover from an injury. Mm-hmm. They don't know what it's like to sit there and sacrifice being in camp on your birthday and you can't eat certain stuff.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like I just did, and I've done it multiple times.
Around the holidays, can't eat that turkey and that stuffing, boy.
You can't do certain things. Be happy with it. Some fighters will say, "Man, I ain't have a childhood, whatever." Me, I was glad this is my child. I love my career, the discipline, and all this stuff. But you got some guys that they got the most shit to say, but they have never fought. Have them never even been a part of an 8-week camp. They'll say, I've been in the ring before I spar. Okay, cool. I tip my hat to you on that. But have you been in an 8-week camp and your sparring days is Monday, Wednesday, Friday? You're going to probably do 6 and 8. Mm-hmm. And you get to week 3. And you wake up. You spar on Monday. You do a whole lot of strength and conditioning and bag work. 6 a.m. And then come back to the gym for 2 a day. And you get to the gym Wednesday. You wake up Wednesday. You like, oh God, I gotta go to the gym at 4 o'clock. And you sore. You get up. You wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and you turn. And you know you gotta go to the bathroom. And you wake up. It's 12 o'clock. All right, I got 4 hours to get myself together. And you're like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the gym at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then the love of the game gets you out the bed to go and train and go. They don't know that part. They don't know that old saying of if you at the end of training camp and you 100% healthy, you ain't trained hard enough. You supposed to be like 95%. You supposed to have some type of nick or knack, something wrong with you. Mm-hmm. They got the most to say. That's why I don't respect. They are so fickle.
And they be the most popular platform.
Most popular platform.
That's what blow me, but.
And then they got their fighters and they be on they be on jock. They be on jock, bruh. Mm-hmm. And I always speak of this. Andrew Council, we had Wizards Arena. Just right before I met you. He come up behind me. I'm sitting at press row beside DC Mike TV. He come up behind me. Boom, give me a big hug. I'm like, yo, there you go, boy. What, you telling it? Where your father at? I said, yeah, home rest. He said, man, keep doing that, man. Keep telling the truth. Let these people know what really be going on in this sport. And you know what my father said, man, don't break on these fools, man. Tell the truth.
Got to.
Because I don't want him to lose faith in me. I don't want Miss K, Kenichi. I don't want them like, man, we wanted him for this, and we wanted, he backed off on that.
Bump all that.
And I can't, you met my father, I can't go. You met my mother, I can't go home. Like, I can't gonna be able to go home if I sit there and start lying and being fake on this. I can't do that.
Won't do it. I won't share it. I won't engage in it. Anything negative got to do with anything, I won't do it. I won't do it, man. Rax, he said thoughts on Raymond Ford. I like Ray Ford.
Man, Ray Ford,
he a bad motherfucker. He a bad motherfucker, yo. That joker can box his motherfucking ass off. I know they was talking about, I think he called out Keyshawn Davis, but not yet.
Let that build.
Not yet.
Let that stew.
Not yet. That's a great fight later on down the road for boxing, but yeah, let that stew a little bit. Let that stew. His mugshot is not still. He got a picture. It looked like from the amateurs. He had the Roscoe Dash cut with no shape up. They gotta do him better. They gotta do him better than that, man. Dosey said, "What's the next big fight y'all going to in person?" I'm going out to the AB joint ATL. Probably the Tank fight in January.
Yeah, next week.
That's the next big one. But then you got shout out to Team No Excuse. They got a card coming up February 4th at the Rosecroft. Sugar Wayne, Rihanna Rios.
The real double
The real double R. There's some talent on that card. So make sure if you guys are in the DMV, you pop out to the Rosecroft race February 4th. Team No Excuse put on the card, man. Can't wait for that one. He said, I'm subscribed to him right now. Yeah, Second Win Boxing Media, man. Make sure y'all tap in. It's another great platform. They tell the truth. It's a good boxing talk, good back and forth. So, yeah, man. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate all of you.
So we got that. Then, was it 2 weeks after that? Was it the 18th?
The 18th, you got the Tony Jetta
one? Oh, my
At
goodness.
the Maryland Live. A lot of talent on that joint, too. Monzo, the Punisher, Too Sharp.
Sharp is going to shut that shit down. Greg going to shut that shit down.
Greg Outlaw headlining the card. Who else is on there? Joe Veazey.
Zuka.
The AJ Williams is on the card. He fighting too. A couple new guys on the card. So yeah, it's a lot of boxing. 2023 gonna be a great year for boxing. It really is. I mean, 2022 was hard on a lot of people. I posted about it on my Facebook. A lot of folks is still going through stuff, still struggling, still feeling the effects of COVID. But one thing that you know I latched on to heavy these past couple years was boxing. Boxing being consistent. You know, lost my job, you know, didn't have no job for a while. And latched on the boxing, got in front of a mic, was in my kitchen just talking boxing, and then look at where it got me. Look where it got me, man. Just some, you know, staying consistent with something. So it's been rough, but I really appreciate boxing. I really appreciate what it's done for me, the avenues it's created for me, the connections I've made, you know, the friendships I've built. Oh man, seriously, bro. I'm just really thankful, man. I appreciate everybody, even the people in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all. The guys that's been in the chat from the beginning, that's been rocking with us from the beginning, man. I just appreciate y'all so much. Y'all don't even know. So hope I get a chance to meet up with you guys. You know, Dose, I never seen you, but you get a chance to meet up and talk some boxing, you know, whatever, you know. It'll be great.
Man.
Catch a better fight.
Damn, can you imagine next week, bro?
Shit.
If we get to that media pass and do the weigh-in and do all that stuff, man, that's gonna be a long night.
Right. I've been emailing to get them passes, but if not, I'll just buy a ticket. Man. Go to the fight. Regardless, I'm not missing that fight. I ain't gonna miss it, man. I ain't gonna miss Tank, man. Do his thing. I ain't gonna miss Damon do his thing against Boo Boo. I ain't gonna miss Lamont coming back. I'm not missing that shit to see that shit live, bro. Ain't no way, man. Against the Roast with Dose, he said, I fight the 18th in West Virginia and Scarborough on that card. Good luck to my man. Hey, Dose, if you get a chance, can you send me the information?
Yes, please do.
Send it to us, either on here or on Instagram. DM me, and we'll definitely pop out. Because I live in Hagerstown, so that ain't far from me. Mm-hmm. And then the Second One Boxing Media, he said, I'm proud of you both. Man, we appreciate it. And we love what you're doing too, man.
No, legend. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, legend.
For sure. Alfonso Walt, he said, thanks for getting me back into the sport. Hey, man.
What?
Yeah. You know, like I said, I coach his son, and, you know, we talk about the fight sometimes before practice, after practice. So, yeah, man, I'm definitely had to catch up with you soon. Dose, he said, I can't head out for the Tank fight, but I know that shit gonna be crazy. Oh, man, the atmosphere. The DMV gonna pop out for that one. I'm telling you, it's gonna be crazy. I cannot wait.
Oh, now we got a shout. He probably watching it right now. He probably Chop Too Sharp.
Oh, Chop, yeah.
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
Chop, man, for sure.
Chop, man, that's
been
good
showing
dude.
Mad love. Showing mad love.
Yeah.
Rax in the chat been showing mad love from the beginning, man.
K Smooth, Kenny Young, my cousin, box out of Umar Gym in Baltimore. Yeah, man, he coming along. Man. Probably
Mhm.
he's trying to get his boxing boot game up with mine.
Yeah, trying to catch up.
He trying to catch up,
You're
man.
gonna spend a lot of money trying to catch up, brother. Don't even try. Don't even try, man.
Oh
This Joker, man.
Man, he coming along though, man. And the crazy part, Umar didn't know we were cousins.
Oh,
he
for
was
real?
like, I said, man, you training my cousin? He was like, what you got? I said, Kenny? He said, what? And he looked, he said, what? Oh, it makes sense. Like,
Damn.
he said it makes sense. You know, but
Yeah.
man, when I want to talk about the Tank card, but I know how much we're gonna have to talk about it next week.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, Keyshawn Williams is on it. Yeah. He wants to come on the show, and it's crazy because he got the most stories. Yeah. Because he was in the gym with me when I was super, super active before I got sick.
Right.
And he was 11. Mm-hmm. He was 11 years old, I want to say. Right. And he was starting off, and my dad, Ty Barnett, had him come to my dad. Mm-hmm. Shout out Ty Barnett, man. God, dog. I'm telling you, if Ty Barnett could have gotten in shape in time, he would have answered that call too with Tanks having Lamont come back and everything. Oh, trust me. Yeah. Tank probably did put that reel out there like, come on, Ty, man, I'll put you in there with the right guy. Come on, come back home one more time, do it for me. And Ty was like, man, I'd love to, but it's too short of a turnaround time. I can't do it. But trust me, that was another name that probably would have been on this damn call. For sure, 100%. Oh my goodness. 100%. It's still stuff that I see Tank do now that he got that from them three. Mm-hmm. And you know, so, but Keyshawn Williams, Max Garland, DeMar Nicholson, YG Pat. Oh my goodness. Shit. Oh my God.
Shit. Bruh. That's all I can say about that one.
You got the uncles and the nephew on the card. Mm-hmm. And the person that's in the corner is the dad. Oh my good. Who's a legend himself too? Mm-hmm. Shh. Come on, man. Oh my goodness.
Indeed, man. It's gonna be special. Dose, he said in the chat, he said next year, hold on, what he said? He said, what he said? Are there any tough fights next week? He said, looks like a showcase. Oh, on the Tank card, it's a lot of tough fights, man.
Yeah, a whole lot of tough fights. with DeMar, that's a tough one.
Right.
Anthony Peterson might have a toughie. Mm-hmm. YG might have a toughie. Right. Pat might have a toughie. Keyshawn, they might have him with a toughie, but they all should get dubs. Like, they all should still get dubs. But yes, you're kind of right. It is a showcase for them to really put their skills on there, but they're gonna put them in there with the opponents that's not gonna lay down in a sense. Mm-hmm. I mean, that they still look good again. Right. So it's kind of like what you want to see.
Especially at home.
That. Yeah, at home. Yeah. Now with Rax talking about we should get a lot of unifications, don't bet on that. Don't ever bet on the unification thing. Unifications are y'all want to know why is these unifications be so few and far in between? Oh, first person, what was it a few months ago? The first person to be undisputed at, what was it, super middleweight or something like that earlier this year? I keep forgetting, but earlier this year, these weight classes been lasting been around for how long? And they just now getting these unified. They're just now getting their first undisputed or first unified and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. It's for a reason. Right. It's money in them boats. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, you got guys that win unifications and relinquish belts because they got to pay these sanctioning fees for each belt. Can you imagine winning a belt that you dreamed about since you were a little boy and you got to pay for it? You got to pay for something that you dreamed about.
Andre Ward was talking about that.
Yeah, like, that takes a lot of love from. I've had a lot of fighters that take a lot of love out of it for you. That this, and the crazy part is some of the belts aren't even as valuable as they used to be back in the day. And I don't mean like personal value. I mean value in the materials that they used to build it. Mm-hmm. Like guys used to sell their belts back in the day. Like when they were going broke or something like that, they would sell their belts and just get a new one made. Like at the WBC or whatever, send it. Right. And those belts used to have so much stuff in, like real gold, leather, whatever, rubies, whatever. And now it's not, all of them are not like that anymore. Yeah. But you got all these belts, you gotta pay to be champion. It costs to be champion. And with a lot of unifications, I'll break this down for y'all. I've said it on other shows, I'll say it again. All right, you got Miss K over here, you got me, you got BINK, and you got Kenichi. So that's 4 belts, right? And of course, you got Ring Magazine for the 1 and 2. BINK is the world champ at the WBC and the WBA. Miss K is the champ at the WBO. Kenichi got the IBF belt. I'm ranked number 2 and number 3, number 1, and number 4 in each of these belt organizations. And when you're in these organizations, what happens is, let's say if I become mandatory, you want to fight this guy, but you want to fight BINK. But the thing what happens is, okay, BINK doesn't fight me. He fights someone else. But what happens is like, okay, well, I'm also ranked in this one. So, and that one just became vacant. I fight for that belt because I'm like, dang, if I get that belt, then I can bring that to the table with BINK's 2 belts, and he might want to fight me more, and it'll be worth more money. And then next thing you know, it doesn't happen. And then you fighting the least scariest, the second or third scariest mandatory. A lot of those things wind up happening when it comes to these unifications. And then you got certain, but I'll never forget, I was talking to a fighter who had all the belts one time, and I said, well, you unified, why don't you go for Undisputed? He said, we can't go for that belt. That's the top ranked belt. Man, I was explaining that to you when we first met. The WBO was like the top ranked belt. You rarely ever get to touch that belt. You're not with top rank. It's like a way you got to go around to do it. And some people are saying that's why Boo Boo relinquished it. Because as soon as he relinquished it, what was it, like a few weeks later, he go to PBC?
Something like that, yeah.
People are trying to throw that out there now. So it's crazy. So, with these unifications, man, don't bet on it. Don't bet on it, man. If it happened, yay. If it don't sweat it, bro. It's just that's just how the game goes sometimes.
Right. 100%, man.
Paying all that money for something that you dreamed about. Can you imagine, bro? You played football all them years, all them trophies you got and accolades you got. What if you had to pay a sanctioning fee for all the organizational fee for every? Man, that's crazy.
Indeed, man. Indeed. Yeah, guys.
He called it the Mickey Mouse belt. Real quick, Mr. Dose, why you call it the Mickey Mouse belt? The WB, that's the oldest belt besides the WBC.
Oh, that dude Janabek. I like Janabek. Janabek, all right.
Yeah, the WBO went straight to Janabek. But like, so why you feel like the WBA is the Mickey Mouse one? What was what made you feel that way? Because that's the oldest belt. Then it's the WBC and Ring Magazine and stuff like that. Like the WBA, the Ring Magazine belt and the England Commonwealth belt, that one is probably the British belt. That was probably like oh my God.
I think it's sanction fees with all of them.
Yes, there's even sanctioning fees with NABF, the USBA. Those belts, the WBC, USNBC, those, you still got to pay a sanctioning fee for those belts. Or it ain't got to be a world title. And then the other part is, I remember one of the fighters, bro, got mad. He was going broke, right? He was still he was undefeated. Right. He was going broke before his next fight, and had no food in the house. Took his belts, took them in the backyard, and broke the shit out of all of his belts. Because he said, man, I got all these belts and I ain't got nothing to show for it to feed my kid right now. That broke my heart. And I'm like, this story happened 20 years ago, but it hurt me just to hear that. Mm-hmm. That is tough, heartbreaking.
Man. It is tough. It's boxing's different because it's like you gotta fight to make money. You ain't fighting, you ain't making no money.
I see what those are saying. The WBA, the regular, and then the super. Yeah, I think that's stupid. If you're why call it the regular? Why not just call it the interim? If anything, like, okay, you got this, and then you're gonna fight. I mean, I don't get the
interim. They got the interim, the regular, then they got.
Oh hell no! I ain't know all that. Oh my God, I ain't know that. Yeah. That is horrible. Yeah. Come on, man.
Remember the WBC they only did it for Canelo and Lomachenko. They made that super title. That's what the whole thing was.
Franchise thing.
The franchise tag, the franchise belt. They gave it to Canelo and they gave it to Lomachenko. That was the whole thing. Is Devin really the WBC champ? He's the email champ because of the other belt. It's a bunch of nonsense, man. But we could definitely go into that next week, man. Let's go into that next week, man. Look, I appreciate y'all again. Great year for boxing. A great year on the show. We love y'all to death, man. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Dose. Appreciate you, Rax, Alfonso, everybody that's been in the chat. Let me just run back and Ace in the chat. Second Win Boxing Media. Rax in the chat. everybody that tapped in. It's been a blessing. It's been a great year. And I know I'm thankful. My team's thankful. I know Don's thankful.
What you call?
Don.
You know, damn, what that is?
My fault, Golden Boy Jr.
Oh
Silk.
my God, Silk. There you go. You family. You know, family always call me Silk.
He got 75 names. You gotta be careful which one. I ain't never seen somebody with so many damn nicknames in my life.
You family. You know, family always call me Silk, and you know how to spell it.
I know how to spell it, but you got so many nicknames. I figured I just throw one of them out.
Oh my God.
Joker got so many names. But again, man, thank you guys, man. Thank you guys. Continue to tap in. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. All right. Make sure you guys check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Slipping Kind of Podcast. Make sure you guys check out Kenichi Bag. Go get you guys a pair of headphones. These headphones are nothing but the truth, the whole truth. Check them out. Gaming headphones, doubled as music headphones. You can do them with anything. Everybody loves them. I love them. And guys, we'll be back to you guys again next year. Thank you.
Man, see you a little bit.